And donations is Dennis Agrew, Mike Spuches, and myself, Corey Lawson on the quest to help some different charities through a unique way of fundraising. We're just three dudes that got together over the COVID lockdown to play some Dungeons and Dragons. It was a way that we were able to still feel connected to one another when we couldn't even see each other in person. So we came up with the idea that we should do a Dungeons and Dragons stream, make it like a cool charity stream, because we were having so much fun playing Dungeons and Dragons. Our first event, we were able to raise over $2,600 for the Central New York Food Bank. Wow, the love and support that we got from colleagues, friends, families who showed their support by donating or watching the stream was just amazing. I mean, you guys completely shattered our expectations. After that first event, we had so many people that were asking us, hey, when are you guys gonna do another one? That's what got us thinking, maybe we should do this more and more. Maybe we should make this twice a year thing where we choose a organization, we play some Dungeons and Dragons, and we raise some money for some great causes. Fast forward to just a few years now, with 4 different charitable events, we have raised $15,000 for local charitable organization. The Central New York Food Bank and Vera House have been the big 2 that we've supported. Putting on these streams is such a joy. It is such a great creative outlet. We get to share our love for Dungeons and Dragons and raise money for some wonderful, wonderful causes. Make sure you follow our Instagram at Dungeons Donations for all the latest news on upcoming streams and events. I cannot wait to see you at our next stream. And we are live.
Let's do it live.
Let's do it live.
That guy was really good at doing that commercial thing.
Look at this. Look at this. I got us in the perfect form of our logo. Dennis.
What?
Mike. Corey. Trifecta. With our powers combined, I'm really excited for this. This is going to be awesome. I can't wait, Dennis, to see what your spell jammer adventure is. You got brewing in there.
What's that? Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. But first, we got to tell the people what they came here for.
Well, we are going to be playing a wonderful adventure, Killer Comments from Wildspace. It's a spelljammer adventure created from the mind of Dennis Segru, here to all in the spirit of raising some donations, raising some money for a great charitable cause. You guys know that we support the CNY Food Bank every November because it's a really important charity that's in Syracuse. It's really sad to hear and surprising how many people are food insecure. So this is something that hits close to home for all of us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Earlier this year, there was a report that came out saying Syracuse was #1 in the entire country for child poverty. That's since in that time, I think like about 6 months ago, turned around a little bit, but we're still not doing great. Like still one of the worst in the entire country. So it's always, CNY Food Bank is always something we feel good about supporting. We've seen the work they do and how they're able to take a $1 donation and turn that into 4 separate meals to feed 4 people. So yeah, we're happy to work with them.
Yeah, it was, we've said it before, so I won't belabor the point, but going there was a bit of a life-changing moment for us. And, I will do something the rest of my life to support the local food bank. Pretty excited about that. Hey, thanks for coming out to Retro Game. What a great opportunity that was. And stay tuned to follow all our social media. There's some big stuff happening in the spring. Absolutely going to elevate our profile. I'm pretty excited. So we're also, speaking of that, so many of you helped us get the word out through Instagram. We had a little contest, and we're going to be giving away a set of dice at the halfway point of the stream. We're going to find ourselves a winner from the people that shared our Instagram stuff and got the message out. Compliments of the amazing people at It's Getting Dicey. And they were so generous with 2 sets of dice. We raffled one off. We made $300 for the food bank in that raffle. So thanks to them. And also thanks to one of our other sponsors, NAH and the great work that they do. More on them later, although I will show you. I'm rocking one of their coasters here. It's a little Dungeon Master coaster here.
Pretty appropriate.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's got battle scars already.
So anything else we got to get out of the way before we talk about Spelljammer and what we're doing?
Throughout the stream, if you guys want to donate, check this out. Logo, gone. Scan that little QR code in the top corner. It's going to take you to the PayPal. Also put a link in the comments. So if you want to help us raise a little bit of money, we're currently at $3,055. That's just in the PayPal pool. It's a little bit extra things like Dennis mentioned that we haven't accounted for, but scan that little code or click the link in the chat.
Absolutely. And
Very
what's
cool
up?
To see all the...
Roll. What's up, Ackley Attack TV? Thanks for your support, guys.
Yeah, it's cool to see all the people from Retro GameCon here supporting.
Absolutely.
But I gotta say, Corey, that little sound you did, bringing in that barcode, that was pretty Spelljammery, pretty pew pew lasery. I mean, is it time we talk about some Spelljammer?
I think it is.
Here for it.
So let me lay it down. So Spelljammer came out, I believe it's 2nd edition, and I remember as a young man playing D&D at the time when it came out. I was like, not for me. Too much peanut butter in my chocolate. What was I thinking? They were made to go together. So what is Spelljammer? Well, Spelljammer is a way that they came up with to explain all the different universes they have in the D&D multiverse and how they sort of connect. And they envisioned it sort of like combining fantasy, Tolkien-esque RP games with sci-fi and bringing them together with their own unique set of science fiction rules. They don't play by the rules of, our meager real world universe and physics. So it involves travel through Wildspace, which is their version of the universe, right? And the astral sea. And the way you sail, if you will, is not with technology, it's with magic. And that makes sense. And because of that, if you've ever seen Treasure Planet, maybe Disney's amazing, underrated masterpiece, Treasure
One of the
Planet.
greatest.
Yeah, so good. It's like that. It's ships, sometimes literally even boats sailing through space. These ships have their own air pocket in which they can breathe in and their own rules, which we won't bother explaining. Just come along with us on the journey. We're combining Flash Gordon-esque campy, it's very campy, sci-fi with the fantasy of Dungeons and Dragons. So I'm pretty excited. It wasn't my bag when I was younger, but now I see the possibility of just the fun you can have in this universe. So, and today's adventure, Corey inspired me by creating his own adventure the last time we played, and I figured I had to do the same. And boy, it was a lot harder than I remember, like a lot harder. So I hope you guys enjoy my adventure today. Killer Comets from Wildspace, as the name would somewhat suggest, is very inspired by, if you like Flash Gordon, if you like old school Animaniacs, including Pinky and the Brain, if you love Rick and Morty, speaking about sci-fi, if you like the movie Aliens, second or the first one, and if you know anything about killer clowns from outer space, this, my friends, is the adventure for you. Ooh, chills.
Ooh,
y'all ready?
Good. I'm ready to party. I am ready to party. Let me see. Let's get this rolling. Look at this. Look at us looking all fancy.
All professional and that.
Who would have thought?
I would have thought if Corey's involved, I'm here for it.
Yep.
So I'm going to switch over to Roll20, so I won't be able to see your pretty faces because I got to steer the ship from there. Good luck, everybody. I won't be able to see the chat, so if there's something I need to know, hook a brother up. All right. Y'all ready?
Right.
Do you
Y'all ready for this?
say anything at all, or do you want to take a moment to introduce your characters when the story allows for it? Or do you want to roll whatever now?
Yeah, let's you know what? I hate to stop the steam. I just want to get something. Hold on. Before I play. I feel like it's probably
Wait, are we doing stuff? Wait, I don't have
it's
my
probably like really crucial that I kind of go over what my character is.
Yeah, I think
who he is.
Wait, is that related to your character?
Yeah, he's
Oh, okay.
Man.
so in the Spelljammer world, there's a hippo race of people called GIF,
Ah,
and
or GIF.
Or
it's there's no or, it's GIF. It's GIF. And I play Mr. Dimples, a GIF, a hulking hippo of a man standing 7 foot tall, 960 pounds, literally the exact exaggeration of me. His shoulders are so broad, his head sticks up like it's a freaking thumb out top of the horizon line, and he's a little bit of a tinkerer. And as you can see, he's got quite the big head on him.
I can just watch you with that on as a stream. Like,
that's the stream right there.
The donations are gonna roll in now.
Say no more, everyone. We got the stream made.
There we go.
Yeah, and I am playing the being known as Glorp the Globular, playing a Plasmoid, one of the new Spelljammer races. And Glorp is a very tiny little, basically a sentient slime ball who just he likes to absorb things and then takes on their properties. Sometimes can change into them. He looks a little something like this guy.
There we go.
Nice.
Like, you didn't buy a whole slime suit?
Yeah,
I didn't. I thought about making an entire tub of Jello, of blue Jello, and jumping in it right before starting, but.
Listen, that could raise us some more money next time. We'll talk. I got ideas. $250 worth of pudding. All right, let's do the thing. So, my friends, welcome to Killer Comets from Wildspace. So let me bring you over here to the new map. All right. Let us begin. Part 1. So I want you guys to think about this like a movie, right? And the camera moves through Wildspace. And it's moving towards this meteor city, this 1 mile long, almost 1 mile wide meteor city just floating in Wildspace. And the camera sort of weaving through schools of astral guppies with 3 eyes and huge space eels slithering through space and other exotic astral fishes. There's massive whale-like Kindori that float and glide about with this sort of colorful light emanating from their eyes like a discotheque. And it's dancing and swirling with the colors of Wildspace. Wildspace is a beautiful and colorful place. In fact, my friends, it looks a little something like this. So we see ships lined up approaching the Rock of Brawl, as this meteor is known, or sometimes just simply called the Rock. And each of these ships is dragging behind it huge meteors made of ice because they are bringing in a fresh supply of water to Lake Brawl. The lake is a man-made lake, so they need every couple years or so to bring in water to keep the lake refreshed and drinkable. And sort of there's this like train of ships coming in one at a time. They touch down, they release the ice into Lake Brawl, and then they fly away. Looks a little something like this. As these ships touch down, they release the meteor into the lake, and then they fly away back into Wildspace. So the camera sort of zooms up on the side of one of these boat-like ships, and we see sort of the name on the ship on the side in sort of this beautiful calligraphy, and it says the Cat's Cradle. And from there, the camera sort of drifts up to the front of the ship, and we see standing there tall in the bow, very proudly, a tabaxi woman, which is sort of like a humanoid cat creature in captain's gear. And she turns her head and she says, "Blah, Olga, adjust the sails for landing." and the camera sort of pans behind her to these two flumps. And if you don't know what a flump is, they're like jellyfish type creatures bobbing in wild space, and whose many tentacles appear to be saluting in chaotic excitement before rushing over to the rigging and sort of beginning to reposition the sails and angling them towards the back of the ship in a very sort of aerodynamic way. And they make strange noises as they do it. Moments later, the Tabaxi looks back, all the way back of the ship, to a massive tree that dominates the back of the ship. The roots of this tree are growing into the spell jamming vessel itself. And she says, "Mr. Trunks, bring us in." She smiles with a mix of anticipation and focus. The tree's roots begin to sort of glow, and the tree is sort of split into two massive trunks that form like a V. And the smaller branches and the foliage at the top of each trunk, they sort of meet and intertwine to form this beautiful leafy canopy, almost like a big luscious group of hair on its top. And the tree is bent back like it's sort of doing yoga, and it's bent back with this beautiful grace, as if time has just slowly pushed it back in slow motion. And two fully expressive faces, one on each trunk, sort of spring to life. And they look at the Tabaxi captain and they echo each other. Aye, 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 Captain Moonsea. Captain Moonsea smiles, seeming exhilarated by this experience. "First mate, Mr. Dimples, and deckhand Glorp, make sure the lines are secure and that we are tracking clean." She looks back to the meteor her ship is towing. What does the audience see when it pans, the camera pans to Mr. Dimples and Glorp as they check to make sure the meteor is secure?
Well, the camera pans down and you see a massive human, what appears to be human, but he actually has the head of a hippo, and he salutes the Tabaxi, and he's in like this old looking space suit. Like you look at it from afar and it has like old 80s compute like keyboards on it, and you're like, is that thing even like high tech? It's very strange. And he starts to unravel the rope there on the dock.
And next to him is this blob. What's going on with deckhand Glorp the Globular?
And Glorp is looking real globular right now, but as soon as he hears that from the captain, Glorp, he slurps, he takes his jello-y form and he transforms into his humanoid form momentarily to give a nice salute, almost sarcastically. "Aye, aye, Captain. Hear you loud and clear," and then hops on some sort of like turret or like nearby like ballista or something and just starts to try to like spin around in it.
Yeah. So there is a ballista that normally our friends Blah and Olga, they normally work that, but they're not doing that right now. But I tell you what, Captain Moonsea looks upon her crew with pride. She's absolutely thrilled with what a well-oiled machine they've become in such a short amount of time. And she sort of tips her cap to you guys. And you begin moving towards the rock. And it looks a little something like this. You can see two trunks back there. You see this massive meteor. And these other meteors, because they brought in several huge meteors and sort of blew them up into these smaller chunks. And now they're dragging them in. So the cat's cradle flies over the docks, and then it moves over Low City. And you guys look down at the Happy Beholder, where you guys spent some time eating fishes and whatnot with Large Luigi. You can see Gift Town. You can almost hear the guns firing, pop, 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 and the explosions happening in Gift Town, if you will. And then you pass over Middle City and the Temple District, and you can see people already busy about their days, and they're sort of taking in as the ships move over them. And then you begin bringing the ship just beautifully gliding down towards Lake Brawl. Mr. Dimples and Glorp, prepare to release the meteor. Moments later, the ship touches down, barely skimming the water. Suddenly, it's more like a regular vessel, and suddenly you feel the pull of the meteor as the weight hits the water. What does it look like as Mr. Dimples and Glorp release the meteor?
As he releases the meteor out of his boots, you see like smoke, like tss, like he just started to stick to the floor. So he was kind of bracing himself for impact as all these like wires and like a floppy disk drive is hanging from him, and it comes to a crashing halt as it reaches touchdown.
Oh, meanwhile, Glorp is just sitting there, one just jiggling bowl of jelly, essentially, dude. He just bobbling, but dude, he's barely moving.
Mr. Dimples, are we clear?
Brace yourself.
And suddenly, as you undo and unlatch the ropes and the rigging, the meteor releases, and suddenly you pick up speed. Trunks, get us out of here! Aye, Captain. And the ship begins lifting back up. Captain Moonsea turns around. Well done, crew. Two Trunks, get us to the docks. Mr. Dimples and Glorp have an important meeting to keep. As you move towards the docks, several small meteors zip by the ship, and Two Trunks lurches the ship to avoid them. And you kind of look over the bow and you see them crash to the rock below. This is something that's been happening for the last 24 hours or so. Since yesterday, there have been sort of sporadic reports of small meteors crashing down to the rock. Though people have not been able to really find the remains of these rocks, and little more is sort of known. But as we heard, you folks agreed to a meeting with an important agent that Captain Moonsea knows, and you're needed for this new job. So shortly after touchdown, the ship is left on the docks. Olga and Blah are doing their thing. They're swabbing the deck and whatnot. And Captain Moonsea, Mr. Dimples, and Glob the Globular make their way through Low City to this little shop. It's really not even a shop. You arrive sort of at this unmarked, inconspicuous, otherwise run down, unnoticeable building. You've probably walked by it hundreds of times and never thought much of it. Captain Moonsea turns to you and says, "We have arrived. As I said, this is my most important client, and they've never met with me in person. The fact that they are here speaks to the importance of this job, and therefore the size of the payday. Do not disappoint." And she looks at you, waiting for a response.
We're going to do just fine. I can bet my slime on it.
I'll bet a lot more if the credit attorney. How well is this paying?
I was told beyond imagination.
Hmm.
This client has never lied to me. With that, she pushes open the door, and as you enter, a small bell jingles above you. And you enter this sort of barren office, save for one desk in the middle of the room with a very bored-looking woman behind the desk. And she says, actually, she drones, "May I help you?" Moonsea puts her hand up to silence the two of you, and she says, kind of quietly, "We are friends of Gygax." The woman's demeanor changes ever so slightly for a moment, and then she reaches under the desk and pushes something. Suddenly, all the doors lock, the windows board up and lock in place, and wow, 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 a faint humming, wow, 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 fills the room. You're pretty sure, Mr. Dimples, as someone who knows their way around some magical technology, that there's an anti-magic field afoot. Moments later, before you could sort of take all of that in, an ogre in stunning magic black plate mail armor with red accents walks into the room, from the door behind the woman. And he looks you guys over and he says, "Well, leave your weapons here and don't try to fool old Gus, because he'll know and then he'll have to smash you. Now, put them all down. Let's go." And he
Whoa. Where am I leaving my weapons?
And the woman at the desk says, "Right here." And she pulls open the drawer. And as you look into the drawer, it's sort of like an empty void, almost like space itself. Mr. Dimples, you immediately know this to basically be a bag of holding. Captain Moonseed doesn't hesitate. She very quickly puts all of her gear in there and looks over the two of you with a very stern eye.
And Mr. Dimples
"Let's go."
takes his blunderbuss and crams it in the drawer.
Yep.
And
What about you, squishy guy?
Got nothing to give, friend. And I just snail trail right past them because Glorp walks around pretty much equipmentless.
Yeah, he stares at you and he can't really figure out. He looks very confused, like it really hurts his brain to think about this. And he goes, "Well, I guess you could see Melanusk now. Come on, let's go." So as you follow Gus in, you see a giant blue-skinned humanoid. Looks a little something like this. This giant blue-skinned humanoid wears sort of long gray robes with a fur collar and fur cuffs. He has long, pointy ears and even longer, pointier fingers with pointier nails. You know this to be a very rare sighting. This is a Mercane. Mercane are a giant people that specialize in selling magic items. So this is certainly someone that Mr. Dimples would know well. Like not this specific Mercane, but of them. Especially, they're known for selling rare magic items, particularly spell jamming helms, the chairs, the helms, if you will, that create spell jamming ships and allow you to fly them. He looks at you with a combination of curiosity and perhaps disdain. He has a fluffy cat with wings sprouting from its back that's preening in his lap. It looks very tiny there. And next to him, you see a wizard in elaborate robes covered in like stars and magic symbols. What's going through your mind as you guys are taking this in?
Wow.
Fascinating. I've seen a creature like you once before, but that was on Earth, and you were called James Cameron's Avatar. Fascinating.
He looks at you very confused and says, "Indeed."
Well, the job must be pretty well paid then if you got the likes of you Mercanes.
The Mercane looks over to the wizard, who steps forward, and as he's stepping forward, the ogre is walking by him to go stand at the Mercane's side, and the wizard gives him an awkward side look as Gus passes him before belting out, "Ha ha! 'Tis I, Senbele, master of illusion. Allow me to introduce to you
God damn it.
Melanusk, the mighty merchant." And you see the Mercane roll his eyes. "If you were wondering how someone as powerful as I has come to serve another, it is a spellbinding tale." And as he moves his finger, sort of sparks and images begin to form, involving what I believe to be the rightful purchase of some magic gloves. It started when... And Melanusk, the Mercane, clears his throat. With that, you see Sandblay's shoulders sort of sag. And he says, "Yes, I give you Melanusk, the mighty merchant." And he steps back and crosses his arms, and he looks a bit he's pouting a bit. So we finally meet, Captain Moonsea. I assume these are your two newest crew members we discussed. Pimples and Blob, I presume.
That's first mate, Mr. Dimples, to you.
And you
Oh,
nailed my part pretty much.
yes. Pardon me, Mr. Pimples. Captain Moonsea tells me you're a capable artificer and, in fact, a former captain of your own Spelljammer. Now, tell me of your deeds and your credits, and I warn you, be brief, for I have no patience, and speak true, for I will know.
Well, I mean, I'm not a bad inventor. Check out this little guy. And he goes to his side and he clicks on his little keyboard on his side, and out shoots this little like bead, and then it forms into like this little droid, and it kind of like isn't really like moving. It just kind of like hits the wall, and then it tries to recorrect, and then it just keeps hitting the wall like like a freaking hover. What is the cordless vacuum? Why can't I remember the name of it? When they try to readjust and they just hit and spin.
A Roomba.
Roomba.
Thank you. Oh,
I
it's like a
award
Roomba.
whoever said Roomba inspiration. Well played in the chat.
Thank you, Mike.
It wasn't me. It came from
Mike,
the
I
old
award
brain
you inspiration, Spooches.
the internal brain chat, if you will.
Oh, nice.
Well, this is probably my proudest credit. And he puts his hand on his hip and he looks at the droid all happy.
Well, with that, you see for the whole rest of the meeting, Gus sort of chases this thing around and like gets down on a knee and like pokes at it, and then it moves around and it's behind the Mercane. And so for the rest of the meeting, this sort of plays as a very interesting distraction. So he says, the Mercane says to you, fascinating. Thank you, Mr. Pimples. And
Dimples, first mate, Mr. Dimples.
Right. And he looks at Captain Moonsea with like a "Are you kidding me?" look, and then he turns to Glob and he says, "And you, Blob, what skills do you bring to this crew?"
Well, I got all kinds of talents. Just depends on sort of what you need.
Well, can you at least name one?
Well, I can do this, and then a long tentacle, tentacle, I would say would be the word, kind of emerges from his slime, and then within like 4 seconds, another one, and he's just shooting out like 10 feet, and then another one, and then another one, and he's got all these like tentacles, and then he sucks them all back in. I can control the slime in pretty interesting ways.
Now, Sandbalay looks pretty damn interested in this, and he looks like he's about to speak, but the Mercane gives him a side eye that silences him quickly. And he says, "Yes, I'm sure that whatever that is proves quite useful. Well, only my trust in Captain Moonsea," and you see her puff up her chest, has you passing my test. So, I will tell you now, this is a very delicate matter. Over 2 years ago, 2 gnome brothers who were working on some cutting-edge advanced magic, which was fully funded by the Mercane Order, went missing. We suspect a Doar Kotel, and the Doar are basically penguin people, and they're also merchants. We suspect a Doar cartel may have arranged for their disappearance. Yesterday, after a 2-year delay, we received what we believe was a distress call from at least one of these gnomes. And better yet, they are close. The message was coded, but we believe they will attempt an escape this time tomorrow. We would like you to facilitate that. Bring me those gnomes alive, and we will make you wealthy beyond your wildest dreams. Also, Mr. Pimples,
First mate, Mr.
if a new ship is what you still wish, even after becoming one of the wealthiest beings in the universe, that can be arranged as well.
New ship, tons of money. I don't see what could possibly go wrong. But why? Why the gnomes? Why are they so important to you?
Again, they are the greatest inventors, perhaps the greatest artificers this universe has ever seen. Furthermore, the message was more than just a distress call for help. It seems it was also a warning. Are you aware that a ship disappeared yesterday? And you all sort of look at each other with confusion. And he says, yes, I suppose the Navy would have kept that quiet. Are you also aware that small comets have been sporadically crashing down onto the rock?
Well, yeah, even weirder. They can't even find the remains of them.
Exactly. We believe these events are not unrelated. And that in rescuing these gnomes, you also may become heroes if that's your cup of sploosh. Stopping this threat.
Don't say it like that. It's just alcohol. It's not. Don't say it like that.
Stopping this threat is the sort of moment, Captain Moonsea, that repairs reputations. And you see her sort of hang her head briefly. And he says, do we have a deal? Mr. Puffkins needs a nap. And he, with a long, gangly finger, he scratches the tressum, the winged cat's head. We have a deal. You see Captain Moonsea look at the two of you.
After saying, he said about the reputation, Mr. Dimples walks over to Captain Moonsea and puts his hand on her shoulder, and he says, "Yeah, I think we heard enough. I think we'll take the job."
And he looks to Glob.
Hey, I'm in it to win it. I don't need to be the richest guy in all the universes or whatever, but I'm here for a good time.
So the Mercane turns to Sandbelay and he gestures to him, and Sandbelay goes through his robes and he seems like he's lost whatever he's looking for, and he finally produces this cube and he says, "Ha ha! Feast your eyes upon a cube of illusion." And he kind of moves his hand over it, and two images of two young gnome brothers pops up so you can see what they look like. And then with a second wave of his hand over it, a 3D map, sort of a star chart with coordinates to where the distress call came from, pop up. And he says, this beauty will guide you to where you wish to be. And he rubs his hand over it one last time, and the images go away, and he hands the cube to Captain Moonsea. And it's at that moment that Melanosk says, before you leave, to show you my good faith, he produces a small scroll. It's not actually small, but in his hand it looks small. And he hands it to Mr. Dimples. And he says, that is a spell scroll of create spell jamming helm. Now, Mr. Dimples, you know that by casting this spell, it will create a spell jamming helm on a ship with the opportunity to make it a spell jammer.
You know, I love a good straightforward spell title. I love a good straightforward
spell. It's a bit on the nose, right?
Yep.
And what you also know is if you were on a ship that had a spell jamming helm, you could cast this to create a second helm and sort of battle the spell jammer for control. So he hands that to you. And then Moonsea says, I do have one question, Melanosk. Why not alert the Navy? Why us if this threat is so great? And he looks at her with a raised eyebrow and he says, you of all people, Moonsea, should know that the Navy only has one solution to such threats. This mission requires a much more surgical and delicate approach. I must warn you, Captain, This assignment must remain secret, including anything else you learn in the process. I'll remind you, the Mercane have a shared and unforgiving memory. On your way out, as he dismisses you, you hear the bell ring as you're going out of the door. And in walk these two sort of mantis-like creatures wearing these spell Jamazon outfits. And they have these packages. And as they walk in, one of them says, other creatures! Be sure to greet them properly by waving your arms at them. And they begin doing this at the two of you. And they look at the receptionist, and one of them says, "We have your package. Where are the fishes?" And that's that sort of awkward silence hangs in the air as you
Strange customs these Thrycreen have, but don't want to be rude. And then I just start shaking all my slimy tentacles around.
I told you, look at this. We are masters. We fit right in with these people. Now, greet them by shaking their appendages. And they begin just sort of shaking everything on you guys. Mr. Dimples, I imagine if you don't want them to, they can't even move your hands as they try to sort of shake them in the air.
He puts his hand out, but very cartoonishly, they move instead of Mr. Dimples' hand.
I award you inspiration. So Captain Moonsea kind of does one of these and grabs you guys by the backs of the grabs you by the slime and the back of the collar. She's able to drag Glorp, but of course she kind of can't even move Mr. Dimples until he decides.
I think she probably grabs. Glorp actually has a magical necklace that it's kind of sunk a couple inches deep into a slime, and she probably got a little chunk of that to grab onto.
Makes sense. That all checks out. So with that, you leave the Mercane Agency and go catch yourself a meal at the Happy Be Older and hang out with your new friend Luigi. Catch yourself a nap, and the next day, you're off. So, any questions, comments, concerns before we move on to the next day as you head out to find these gnome artificers?
I'm raring to go to find.
Glorp is feeling particularly globular this morning and ready to go.
I will say, as a artificer, I can pop off my tinkers and enhance my thing. So I'm just gonna get it out of the way. I am enhancing my weapon with repeating shot, so I can take 2 attacks, and then we're gonna enhance defense. So he touches his little spaceship outfit, and you see this little like static glow on him. And now I got +1 AC.
Excellent. All right. So with that, the next morning you make your way over here to the docks that you're very familiar with, and 2 Trunks greets you, and he says, "Good morning, gentlemen." And you see Olga and Blah, and they're like, "Hi, hi, 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 hi," as they sort of force air out of their many sort of holes and ventricles. They can't really speak, but then you hear them as you've become accustomed to. They can speak telepathically. You hear them in your head. "Did you hear that we're going on an adventure? It's going to be very exciting." "Oh, yes. Did you hear? We're going to go and we're going to make lots of money and we're going to be very rich. And then we're going to save the day and we're going to save the whole universe. And it's going to be completely amazing. What do you think? What do you think? It's going to be awesome." Yip, 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 is all you actually hear.
Glorp still only responds to that part, and he's just going, "Hi, hi, 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 hi."
Nice. So Captain Moonsea gets you all on the ship, and she has Trunks take you off, and into Wildspace you go. Now, you can go hundreds of millions of miles in a blink of an eye in a Spelljammer, and you guys begin just flying, but it takes mere moments, and you hear Trunks say, Captain, we have some interference, and he pulls the ship out of sort of this fast breakneck speed. And you come out of this full speed travel. You can't see the Rock of Brawl anymore, but it still looks something like this. The space around the Rock of Brawl here, and you see the many fish, and you see these large whale-like creatures, the Kindori, and there's so many of them concentrated here. It slowed the ship down. It couldn't sort of make it through here. These Kindori, which are basically like giant whales with many eyes in the front of their head that flash different colored lights and different patterns, they're like, with the exception of the babies that are with them, they are like 60 to 80 feet long, with flashing lights protruding from their eyes. And you sort of begin to make your way through them as you take them in. Is there anything you guys would like to do as you take in this absolutely beautiful sight? They're all over. They're under the ship. They're coming over the ship. They're on the side of the ship. And they're kind of blocking out your view in the front. But Tree Trunk sort of masterfully glides amongst them. They're heading the other way. They're heading away from wherever you're heading.
I want to just roll an investigation check just to see see if I can like figure out why he pulled back so quick.
Yeah, you don't even need the roll. I mean, you're an experienced captain. If there's an object that's blocking the path where the ship is going that cannot be easily navigated, it pulls you out of this sort of hyperspace until you navigate it, and then you can go back. But Two Trunk says you're still very close, that you don't need to go back to that fast speed, but he didn't want to hit these Kindori.
They learned from Titanic's mistakes, and they've improved on design. Glor puts a pseudopod on two trunks, two trees, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for slowing down and not hitting any of those things. They're not harming anyone."
No. In fact, they're quite beautiful. Look at the way they communicate with their flashing eyes of light. It is how they both navigate and speak to one another. It's quite beautiful.
Yes, every creature with its own form of communication. Quite a sight to see.
I have seen humanoids communicate with these Kindori. Perhaps you should try.
When he says that, I think I would like to start to try to slime and slurp up two trunks.
Yeah,
like his branches.
He laughs. That tickles. As you sort of climb up. When you get up there amongst his branches, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get to a nice high point up here.
All right, so you get to sort of the highest point. Make a perception check.
For sure. I can do that.
It's our first roll, folks.
There we go, baby.
If this isn't a 20, I quit. A
6.
Ooh, it didn't. There it is. I wasn't. Yeah, so you make it to the top and you see these beautiful. You're so enamored with these beautiful creatures. Some are almost close enough to touch.
Almost close enough to touch. Interesting.
Mr. Dimples is down below, and he's just trying to imitate the noise, just going. Having no success.
Sorry. I think Glorp is going to jump off of a tree branch, and mid-jump, he's going to wild shape into an octopus, a giant octopus.
What?
Nice.
So, like, my understanding, if these things are close enough to be swimming around, can I swim? Am I just going to swim around if I like jump up and?
Oh yeah. But the ship will continue to move, and you're in the sort of the air pocket, so you can kind of stay with it.
Yeah, so I'm trying to kind of stay close to the ship, but I wanted to try to look at one of these whale creatures and just
So as you get alongside one of them, I mean, their eyes are huge, and there's many of them along the front of their head. They don't even have mouths, and you can see the lights just sort of shining in different directions, and then they're sort of echoed by the others all around them.
Whoa. I just want to look one at get real close to one of its eyeballs
Yeah.
and just say, notice any strange disappearances lately?
And this light just, blah, this red light just blasts in your eyes. It kind of would, I assume, force you to look away, and then it just continues to sail by you. What are you doing, Mr. Dimples, other than making terrestrial whale noises?
That's exactly what he's trying to do. He's just trying to do terrestrial whale noises with no success.
Nice. What else would you like to do, Glob? I see you speak well.
Glorp, it's not really working down here.
It sounds cool, though. It's adding to the ambiance. Keep doing it.
So you hear Captain Moonseed shouts up to you. Glorb, there's work to do. But if you're trying to communicate, it involves light, you goof.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I don't know if I have a light spell or anything, really. I don't think I do.
So with that, you notice something flies or swims out of the branches of Tree Trunk's canopy. And it looks... I don't have an image. It's riding a space guppy. And... Sorry. It's riding a space guppy, and it's a little person with a black body. With a black body and this blue, almost, it looks like his face is almost on fire. And it's a lot, and it has many yellow eyes. It looks like this. And it swims up to you, Glorb, and it sort of looks at you and it goes.
It has its fishing rod out like that near me.
Oh yeah.
I knock its fishing rod away with my pseudopod.
And it puts its hands up and it's like.
I'm sorry, dude. I'll leave you to your astral fishing, and I start to swim by to our boat more.
And all of a sudden, its eyes start making lights, kind of flashing lights, and you see the Kindori stop. And it's kind of hovering, and they begin making patterns at each other. And then you see this little guy sort of swim up, and it gets on top of the Kindori, and it grabs on to sort of moss and fungus that's on its back, and it holds on, and the Kindori sort of floats around the ship with this thing on its back. And then as it swims away, this thing drifts down back on top of the space guppy, and it swims right up to you, Glorb, and it says
yeah, I mean, I don't really I just try to, I don't know, mirror that same thing. What do you want from me, dude? I don't speak your language either.
So he follows you back down to the ship, and Two Trunks says, I see you've met Chitter. Most unusual for him to come down and then speak to you. He must find you fascinating. And this sort of space guppy with his thing. He is a Chewinga. You would not be able to pronounce his actual name, but you may call him Chitter. And he comes up and he boops you on the head, and you feel this sort of like this warm energy over you, almost as if you could cast the shield spell once at will.
Dude, I know exactly what that feeling feels
as a
like.
reaction. And then he goes down and he begins swimming around the head of Mr. Dimples, and he's like, Mr. Dimples, you have a chittering around your head.
No, I just want to be sure it's chittering with a C, right? CHITTER. I want to make sure I pronounce it right.
That is indeed how I would spell it if that were a thing I needed to do.
Well, don't just stand there. Why don't you help Mr. Dimples clean the deck, would you? Come on down from there. Grab a brush.
And he begins following you around, helping you to clean the deck. And in fact, he boops you on the snoot, and you feel this warm energy go over you, almost as if you could just produce any tool you needed one time out of thin air. And with that, as you sort of have this little moment with Chitter the Chewinga, Trunks points out, Captain says, Navy hammerhead ship ahead. And you see in the distance a spell jamming ship, a hammerhead ship, as they're called, just sitting there listless in Wildspace. Well, bring us about. And you guys make your way over to the hammerhead. Anything you guys like to do?
No, I'm good right now.
Okay.
I'm an octopus. I'm just gonna still be.
As you get up alongside of it, you feel this very familiar kind of thump, thump, as you enter and sort of share your air pockets, because everything in Wildspace has an air pocket around it. And so your air envelope and their air envelope sort of meet. And you hear the Captain Moonsea say, well, Mr. Dimples, Deckhand Glorp, pull the longboat and go see what's afoot.
Pulling the longboat. And
So
Mr. Dimples makes his
just
way
like on a real ship, there's a dinghy, essentially. And you guys take this dinghy, this longboat. Do you do anything special? What does it look like as you guys prepare this little sort of rowboat, essentially, to get over to this ship?
Mr. Dimples is kind of looking down at his side as he like types into this loud, chunky keyboard, and his little robot buddy goes over to the pulley, and a little arm comes out and grabs the rope to start undoing the knot.
What are you doing, Glorp, as he's doing this?
I mean, nothing remarkable other than just being an octopus and helping.
Yeah, that would do it.
You know?
So you see, can you speak as an octopus?
I don't think I can actually. No.
You know what?
Be.
We're gonna let you because you're Glorp.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would. I also see my wild shaping as a slightly different. Like I'm not turning into a real octopus. I'm still kind of made of slime and all that.
Right.
So
Cool. I'm here for it. So the Chewinga Chitter sort of just follows the two of you around as you get into the longboat, and you actually have to row it. You're riding the air currents, just like a boat, and you float over, and you notice on the side of this ship, the name of the ship is the Firebringer, and you hear Captain Moonsea say, the Firebringer, I know this ship. This is one of the leading Navy ships. They were out here on protection duty. Interesting. And as you make it over to the side of the ship, if you'd like, you'll be able to get on sort of on the main deck if you'd like to get on board.
Yeah, I think we pull over to the side, of the boat, and he out of his little sleeve he shoots like this little grappling hook, and they scale up the side of the boat there.
Hell yeah.
All
Probably
right.
way more than you need for only 5 foot of clearance, but
Hell yeah,
Mr.
Batman.
Dimples is for the theatrics.
Yeah, I love that. So what about you, Glorb?
Would I be able to swim up there?
Sure thing. Easy
Hell
peasy
yeah,
lemon
dude, I'm
squeezy.
swimming up there then.
You got to swim.
And I look over and say, Captain Pimples, it's probably not a great sign that people seem to be going missing, though, huh?
Don't call me Captain Pimples, please. I cannot with you, Glorp. Don't do that to me, please. It's Mr. Dimples to you. Don't.
I need this.
Listen, Glorp. I need this. Okay.
I need this.
All right. So as you guys get closer to the ship, one of the things you notice is this ship has a lot of battle damage on the side of it. I'd like both of you to make investigation checks.
Oh,
Yeah, Mr. Dimples, you're so thrown off by being called Mr. Pimples, you can't even focus. However, Glorp, what you're able to point out is there's all these divots all over the ship as if it, was just impacted over and over again. And then there are these other spots where it looks like something sort of circular hit it and then like slid down, and it looks like it like melted or burned the ship. It's all over. It has a lot of damage on it. And as you guys flip over onto the main deck, you see that it's covered in spots with sort of confetti, it looks like.
Confetti on the main deck?
Yeah, it's like piles of it here and there. And there's clear signs of battle and struggle as well. And there's stairs leading up to the stern castle, one where the ballista would be, and sort of one where the catapult would be.
I haven't seen confetti since, I don't know, my birthday last year. That's weird. And Mr. Dimples continues to explore the ship.
So what would Glorp, what about you? What would you guys like specifically to do? There are stairs that lead to the stern and the forecastle, which is where you would go upstairs. And then that there is a door that should lead inside the front of the ship, and there are doors that should lead inside the back of the ship on the main deck. And there's, like I said, there's piles of confetti and signs of battle as well.
With my Mr. Dimples' knowledge of spell jamming ships, would he know where ideally the spell jamming chair would be? Because I feel like he's going to want to try to go right to that first.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's got the knowledge of exactly where it would be, but
on a hammerhead ship, it's most often in the back of the ship on the main deck level. And what about you, Glorb? What are you thinking or doing?
What signs of battle? That
it
was
looks like you could see like arrows sticking in the deck and in the walls. You can see like where like axes or swords sort of struck the side of the ship. You could see
blood,
certainly pools of blood and piles of confetti. Yeah.
How recent does like blood?
So go look at the blood and make an investigation check.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
Let's see it, baby.
Yeah, it's quite dry, so it's not super recent, but that could mean 6 hours ago. That could mean 24, 48 hours ago, but it's dried.
Well, Mr. Dimples, seems like I don't know. We better be on our toes here. And as I say that, I get on my 8 pseudopods. Are they pseudopods on octopus?
Sure.
And I'm out. Yeah, I'm vigilant.
I'm
just going to stay nearby my boy Dimples.
Okay, so where are you headed? To the back of the ship where you think the spelljammer might be?
Let's make our way to the back.
All right.
That's the source of the power here.
So, are you going to walk through or around the confetti?
around
I'm
it, but
gonna
I'm going to take a
avoid-
pseudopod. I'm going to take a pseudopod and knock it around.
Yeah,
Just-
when you do, it kind of burns. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so you take 1 point of acid damage, and you notice that this confetti has actually sort of like melted and burned on
Ugh.
part of the deck where it was. Now there are you're able to get around it pretty easily. Otherwise, you don't really. It's not like anything you've ever seen before. There are
Killer confetti from outer space.
there are 2 doors that lead towards the back of the ship. One to the east and one to the west. Which one would you like to take?
The one to the east.
All right. So, oh, sorry, my friends. So as you guys enter this room, you realize that this is where the Spelljammer, the pilot of the ship, would have stayed. You see some of their affects, and this room seems relatively undisturbed. Otherwise, there's nothing really in here of value. As you make your way to the other room, you realize that this is where they would have charted the course, and you see that they were charting a course basically on the outer edges of the meteor, the ice meteors that you guys were bringing in. Otherwise, there's no other information or anything here. And as you go through the next door, you indeed see the spell jamming helm, but strangely, right next to it is a very small spell jamming chair right next to it. Like it's very bizarre. It's very tiny.
Well, wouldn't hurt if I just tried to fit Mr. Dimple's hips in between those armrests, huh, Glorp?
You're not even sure you could put your fist in this chair. In the small, there's a regular size spell jamming chair and then a small one.
Mr. Dimples, those hips don't lie. I don't think those things are fitting in there.
Well, it's like my mom said, Gift's hips are usually quite big. You know what I mean?
Hips.
No, I don't.
Gifts.
Yo,
It's an old legend.
Dimple got them
about
gift
woman.
hips.
I believe it's pronounced Jif.
Stop
Great
it.
point.
Stop it.
Yes.
So, is there 2 chairs, or there's just
There
one
is.
tiny?
There's one regular humanoid sized chair, and then right next to it is a very tiny chair. Very
Does
tiny.
Mr. Dimples fit in the human-sized chair?
Minuscule. Yeah, so you kind of slurp up in the human-sized chair, and as a spellcaster, you kind of start to feel. Have you ever flown a spelljammer before?
Me?
Yeah.
I have not. See, Glorp has drifted the astral sea in sort of usually fish shapes, and he's kind of taken the slow path.
Yeah.
Only recently with Mr. Dimples did he start messing around with these crazy ship things. So I think he was octopus form. He's gonna slurp into his little slime ball form, and actually, instead of the human-sized chair, I want to slurp over to the tiny one because I'm a size small creature. Do I fit in that one?
Yeah. It's tiny. It's tiny. So you're a little too big. You can get like a pseudopod in it. And you certainly can feel the magical power of both of these chairs, but you really don't know how to utilize them. And I would like you both to make perception checks.
Yeah. Perception.
Give us something. Oh my god, I'm rolling
Nice.
terrible tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's about it. And it really doesn't seem to be anything else of value here. You know that sort of in the front of the ship usually is like the crew's quarters and like the galley. And you also know that there'd be stairs leading downstairs to the cargo hold up front.
What do you think, Dimpy? Should I pop that helm on and get this puppy moving, or should we maybe hop up to the front of the ship?
Well, let's do a clean sweep of the ship, and Mr. Dimples gets down on one knee and he gets eye level with Glorp. Don't
don't you dare ever call me Dimpy again. Don't even, when you think that is a word in your head, I want you to let it go. It's Mr.
right.
Dimples. Let's head to the front.
Humanoid form. You got it, Captain Dimples.
So in that amazing moment, you guys work your way back through the battle scarred territory, and then there's this like loading dock that you would lift crates and or whatever up and down, and it's sealed shut, so you can't get down that way, but you can go through the door here to get to the front of the ship, or you can go up the stairs to where the ballista would be.
I say we go through the door.
Through the door it is. So as you go through the door, you sort of walk by like where the mast sort of goes through the ship.
Oh, it's black. We can't see.
I know. I'm getting there. Well, pow!
Dang.
So you can see like where the mast is kind of going through the ship here. And there are sort of doors leading in. You know that these would be the crew's quarters and things like that. And this staircase would bring you downstairs to the cargo hold. And I'd like you both to make perception checks again.
Here we go, baby.
This is where we get above a 10.
13.
So, Mr. Dimples, you think you hear the faintest squeaking noises like downstairs.
Do you hear that? In one ear? Just like, you know how like a hippo can like turn its ear 360? Like a satellite dish? He just focuses in on that little squeaky and he just goes right towards it. Like he's like locked in.
All right. So you guys make your way down the stairs and you notice something right away. There's a shiny object, a pile of a thing at the bottom of the stairs. You're not quite sure what it is. It's kind of gold in color. And it's like a pile of, it almost looks humanoid, but it looks like a machine, but it's like all lumped up in a pile at the bottom of the staircase.
Mr. Dimples immediately gets sweaty. He thinks that it's like coins and he sprints down to the bottom to grab it.
So when you get down there, what you realize right away when you kind of look at it, it's an auto gnome, which is basically like a droid. They're like sentient robot type creatures. And you can, it's not coming to life at all. It's just sort of laying there limp.
Can you give me, I would love to try to like, I'm an artificer. Is there any way I got Tinker's tools?
Yep. Use your Tinker's tools so you can add your proficiency bonus and make an arcane check.
Yeah.
So whatever this is +2. God dang it.
Would
I'm going to
you-
use my inspiration.
Okay.
Come on, baby. +2.
So,
Oh my
so
God.
with that, it kind of like goes like, and it sits up, and you've managed to sort of like put it back online, but it's an absolute mess. Like it can't communicate with you properly. Its eyes keep sort of fluttering, and it sits up, and it's like it's trying to look at you, and its head kind of keeps spinning around in a circle, and you hear some weird noises in its chest, and kind of smoke comes out of it, and then it says, not Roy G. Biv, not Roy G. Biv, big boy, big boy. And it looks at you temporarily, and then it kind of like powers down a little bit. And then it comes back online, and smoke coming out of it. And it says, not Roy G. Biv. No, big boy, beep, beep, on the nose, on the neener.
And Mr. Dimples walks over to it and he
opens up the back compartment, and he just flips the switch off.
There is no off switch.
Ah.
I'm gonna try that next time.
Yes,
Next time we fight a dragon, I'm gonna say I walk behind it and turn the off switch
Turn
off.
it off.
As you try to open its chest, you can't figure out how to open its chest cavity, sort of at all. And it gets up and very awkwardly starts walking, kind of bumping into walls and stuff, and it begins walking down the hall.
Where are you going, partner?
Come back here.
Oh,
I haven't figured out how to turn you off yet.
Neener, and it's pointing down the hall.
I know exactly, Glorp. Let's go down the hall. It's showing us where its kill switch is. We can finally turn this bad boy off.
When you say that, it kind of turns like you think it wants to turn to you, but its head goes all the way around and it says, on the nose. On the nose.
See, I had it on the nose. I know exactly it.
You got it.
And it makes its way down to a set of double doors that, you would know lead to the cargo hold. And it stops and it sits down and it says, not Roy G. Biv. Big boy, beep, beep, on the nose, Nina. And it kind of powers down.
Huh. Finally, I figured out what is the kill switch. It's just a little bit of exercise. Another mystery solved by first mate Mr. Dimples. Well, Glorp, we should probably head in this room. Something tells me that maybe we're gonna find a bit of treasure.
Look, buddy, I gotta be honest with you. You've been looking pretty big lately, so I don't want you to use this as an excuse to never exercise again.
Yikes.
Have you broken 1,000 pounds?
I'm close.
Damn harsh.
I'm close.
So what would you boys like to do?
Mr. Dimples grabs his hippo hand and he opens the door into the cargo room.
Yeah. So as you guys enter the cargo room, what you see is maybe hundreds of like cannonball sized meteors or comets. They're strange looking. They look maybe organic, but kind of like rock, just lining the floor. And then as you look to the back of the ship, you see in each corner, sort of on the wall, is like a pink, fluffy, like cocoon stuck to the wall. And make perception checks.
Oh,
yeah. So definitely whomever rolled that 19 notices there is basically on the back of the ship wall, the far back is a big circle of like arcane runes.
Can I roll a nature check, maybe?
You sure can.
I feel like that's where my head's at.
So how are you checking these things out?
I'm getting my pseudopods all in them, bro.
Yeah. So when you go to do that, what are you doing, Mr. Dimples?
I'm going over to. I was the one that rolled that 18 or the 19 perception. So I'm going over to the arcane ruins. I'm trying to see, is there any colors to these ruins?
Yeah. So make an Arcana check. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're checking it out, and before you can figure out what the hell it is, like you're like, holy shit, this is some advanced magic. Glorp is like looking down into looking at these round cannonball type things, and then it just opens up and it's all red, like brightly red inside. And if you've seen Alien, it looks just like that. And then the thing goes and it latches on to Glorp's face, or his smushiness. So Glorp, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
His entirety of his being. Oh!
So you're able to like morph around it so it misses, and then when it sets back down, it just goes like. And
I think it starts to clamp me, and like my slime just oozes down, and it just kind of slips right out of it.
I love that.
I could squish into any space under an inch. So
wow! All right, that's exactly what happens then. So then it sprays like this red cloud into the air. I need you to make a DC. Never mind. I need you to make a con saving throw.
Come on, Mike.
I do think I have like immunity or some sort of resistance against like poison too.
Okay.
Oh, a 20 again.
All right. So you feel like this weirdness, like, oh, it's something crawling under your skin almost, but you're able to shake it off and move out of this cloud. But you could see the rest of them are kind of like trembling and moving, like they feel that you're there. And that's what distracts you, Mr. Dimples. You turn around, and with that in front of you, Mr. Dimples, boom, this portal starts to open, this like sort of like swirling green energy of a portal. And on the top of it, you see like a clown-like face, and it starts to take the form of like a funhouse clown mouth opening up with sort of this green swirl inside of it. What would you like to do?
I don't know if I can really do anything to the thing. It pops up in front of me. I think I'm going to take a step back and like kind of backwards towards Glorp.
And you can, these things are starting to kind of like get anxious, and you can see them. They're kind of moving and chittering. And then walking through the portal, carrying a very small handgun, the likes of which or looks kind of like a gun anyhow, like you've never seen, walks through this guy. And he doesn't even see you at first, and he reaches over and he grabs one of the pink sort of cocoons and he throws it over his shoulder, and he's about to walk through the portal when he sort of like stops, almost like, did I see that? And he turns towards you, and then you hear from behind you guys, you hear Neenar, and the DM says, roll initiative.
Oi!
I look at him and I say, why so serious?
Nice.
Oh, I swear I clicked my token.
Did my roll not work? I feel like mine's just going to pop up. There it is. No? Was that not me? I don't know what happened. Oh, nice. There's the negative. Crit one.
All right. Is everybody in? So, Mr. Dimples, this strange-looking space clown appears like he wants to scrap with you. You're up. What would you like to do?
So Mr. Dimples, as he sees him come out, he slaps the side of his keyboard, and out comes his little Eldritch cannon, his little H1PO droid, and where do we got it? He says, take 4 steps towards me, and I won't blast you. And he readies an action that if the clown starts to walk back into the portal, he's popping off his blunderbuss.
Nice.
And that's gonna end his turn.
All right.
Then it's the Eldritch Cannon's turn.
Okay.
So he goes after me, and he types into his keyboard. You hear it, and this like static eruption bursts out of this little guy, and we have 1d8 plus your intelligence modifier for temporary hit points.
Nice. Ooh, man. The dice hate you today. They hate you.
1 plus 3, so you get 4.
All right, 4 attempts. Anything else you'd like to do?
That will finish my turn.
So with that, the space clown says, and he prepares to, he pulls another gun out of his pocket and he shoots you, and he hits you for 6 psychic damage. I need you to make a DC 12 wisdom saving throw, Mr. Dimples. So on that fail, everything you see or hear is suddenly hilariously funny to you, and you're incapacitated for the next minute. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, and on a success, of course, it ends. And with that, he picks back up the the pink thing that he was carrying, the cocoon-like thing. Glorp, it is your turn.
Wow. I've been trying to get him to do that since I met him. Well done. But not so fast. And then he shoots out a slime ball at this fool. And I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Alrighty.
So he needs to wisdom saving throw.
All right. So a wisdom saving throw. Is an 8 going to do it?
Hell no.
All right. So what happens?
The slime ball kind of envelops him from like the knees down, and he gets kind of trapped up. And it actually contains a bit of a toxin he picked up from a sort of a reptile creature on another planet, and it's actually paralyzing to this clown. So this fool is paralyzed right now.
All right, excellent. So it is the auto gnome's turn, and it comes crashing up, and he tries to grab you, Glorp, and carry you. So I need you to make a contested strength check.
I feel like you would have to have advantage at that. Trying to grab Jello.
Well, he's not able to grab you.
Oh, I did a strength save. Does that matter?
Yeah, that's fine. Either way, he rolled a 1, but he keeps moving by and he's screaming at this space clown. You know, Neener, not Roy G. Bibb, not Roy G. Bibb, big boy, big boy. Mr. Dimples, you're up. This space clown has been incapacitated.
What's so funny, Dimples?
Oh man.
You suddenly realize coming out of your pocket is Chitter, and he's like, and he's pointing at all the little pods, and you see that they're all about to open, and he's like,
I'm still incapacitated, right? Because I'm giggling so hard.
You find that the funniest thing ever. So the fact that Chitter's going off and you're looking around and you realize all these things are going to open up and God knows what. And it's just the funniest thing ever. What is your laugh like?
Oh, that looks really bad. This looks like this is going to be really bad for me and Glorp.
All right, make that DC 12 wisdom save. All right, so you're able to sort of, under these circumstances, sort of calm down. Does the space clown get another save?
Yes, wisdom saves every turn.
He is still all messed up.
And my slime is starting to like crawl up him and envelop him more.
Awesome. Glorp, you realize these things are going to pop off. Whatever it tried to do to you, they're likely going to do again. And your friend is definitely not going to be able to get out of here in time.
What's the plan, Captain?
Oh man, is the portal still up?
It sure is. The clown is kind of in the way.
Huh.
But I mean, you could try to deal with that, I suppose.
Glorp, we should probably jump into the portal.
Say no more, fam. I try to
things are gonna
tackle this guy into the
explode.
portal.
All right. Make an advantage strength roll. Or athletics. Athletics, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you grab a hold of him and you push him through the portal. As he lands on the other side of the portal, the original sort of gun he was holding, you hear it fall to the ground. The auto gnome starts dragging Mr. Dimples with him through the portal. And when you guys all emerge on the other side of this portal, you see a comparable clown mouth kind of out there in this white space. It's all that there is a staircase leading into the clown's mouth. And it is there as you stand on this, having just walked through this portal that closes behind you.
No.
The clown is incapacitated next to you, and you see the original gun that he had laying next to him. I imagine Mr. Dimples would be most curious to pick it up. It doesn't do anything. You can't figure it out when you pick it up, but it does say to you in your head, it says, "It's time for our break."
Oh,
I
shoot.
was like, wait, are they employees? Do they get 15-minute breaks every 2
The
hours?
sentient gun is giving us a 15-minute break.
Sure
my
is.
goodness.
So how long is our break? 10 minutes or 15?
Let's just do a 10-minute. I'm good with 10 minutes.
I'm good with 10 as well.
And
All
when we
right.
come
So
back,
listen, if you've been awesome enough to stay with us, you're going to want to see this extra dimensional funhouse and the thrilling conclusion to Killer Clowns from Wildspace. And we're going to give away some dice.
yes, when we come back, we're going to give away some dice and do a little quick opening, and then we're going to get right back into it. It looks like there's more people now than there were earlier, so
Excellent.
please continue to stick around. Catch back up with us in 10 minutes.
I'm promising some fun. Oh, look at that. We made some more money. Donate if you can, and if you can't, just enjoy this. And please, please, love it. Thank you, guys. See you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
You guys were straight up having a dance party in chat while we were gone.
Wait, you could see me? Could you see me, Dennis?
I could feel you, bro.
Oh shit! I knew I was dancing with someone.
Getting it done.
Did we all get a salty snack or what?
I got some peanut butter M&Ms.
Nice.
Mm.
My
That's
youngest,
Christian, I
my
do.
youngest will not be happy when she goes for her snack, but it had to happen.
Dennis, do you know what the group name for the weekly dice roll is? What their character's party name is?
I do not.
It's the Salty Snacks.
It's hot.
So this is an homage to you guys.
So before we get back to the show, we gotta give some stuff away. I mean, yeah, that's what he does. That's the way he rolls, bro.
Nothing gets past Mark Lawson, dude. The guy's like Batman or something.
So true. So
Salty Snack.
but I gave you guys have always been so good to me. But you guys got me this sweet microphone because you hate my microphone. Before this, I ruined all the streams. Now I got a good microphone thanks to you, homies. So I got you guys a little something for this stream. Why don't you get those boxes?
Can I have mine right now?
I'll open them right on up. Mostly because I need to eat peanut butter M&Ms. Sorry,
Oh,
Chad.
Ian.
This is where we like gotta love each
Good
other.
time.
For a minute.
Right here.
Yeah.
From one of our buddies, one of our sponsors.
This looks. We got an NAH Outpost mini of some kind. What the? What?
Now only the
Whoa.
the two unpainted ones are from NAH Outpost.
What?
Dude, what?
Show the crew.
Look
It's
at this.
Mr.
It's a
Dimple.
Hippo Mini, dude.
Dude.
What's yours, Mike?
What?
It's a little slime.
It's
Dude,
their
look
whole-
at that.
Focus.
I also have to say, these guys 3D print their minis, and all that texture is so hard to do. Like, dude, that's crazy.
dude.
That is so funny, dude. This is the funniest mini of all time, bro.
NAH Outpost. Give them your business. Former students of mine. They
And
make all sorts of D&D stuff that's just amazing. Oh yeah,
And
and these are
the space
collector's
clown.
edition. These clown minis. Put your hand behind it, and then the camera can focus on it.
Oh, is that
Usually.
what we do?
Usually that works. And oh, there it is. Sweet.
amazing, dude. Thank you, and
Dude,
thank you
those
to
are
our
so cool.
our friends. This is pretty sick.
We got another sponsor too, not just NAH. But I don't know. Let's get dicey. I want to give
Let's get
someone some
dicey.
dice.
I
Dang,
love it,
look at
bro.
that. All right, how are we
Oh,
gonna do this?
Wait,
Where's
are you
our
guys ready to do the other one then?
Yeah, let's give away those dice.
Damn.
All right. Well,
I mean, we could hold them hostage and make them stay to the end of the stream, but let's do it.
I mean, I guess you're just gonna have to trust me on this, because but I'm gonna hold down my backspace. It's gonna randomize names, and I'll just have you guys tell me when to stop.
Oh,
So
that's
it is randomizing right now.
Why don't you have
Tell
the
me
chat?
when time
Someone
to
in the
stop.
chat. Someone in the chat. Tell us when to stop. Quick. Someone in the chat. Go
First
on.
one to say it.
Stop. No whammies, big bucks, no whammies, big bucks, no whammies. Then stop.
All right, I haven't looked yet. Oh my God, it's Bernie Musatelli. B.
Bernie
Musatelli.
Musatelli. Woo!
Touch the keyboard.
What's up, Burn Dog?
Bernie, are you in right now, Bernie?
Bernie is one of our greatest supporters and one of our best friends.
He's
If I
in.
was going to cheat, it'd be for Bernie, but that's not the way we roll. So
Bernie was the first person.
I'm just
to
glad I
set up
don't
our
have to
thing.
mail these out to somebody. That's so sweet.
Dude, Bernie.
Let's get dicey. I'm hoping to grow our connection with them. We got some big things coming up in the future that may even involve buying dice, and I'm hoping they can be a big part of that. So check out their selection and follow them on all their socials. Let's get dicey. Give NAH Outpost some love. Buy some sweet minis and all sorts of. There's Christmas goodies to buy there. There are holiday goodies of all sorts. not just D&D stuff, but nerd stuff and whatnot. Wow, I'm so excited. It was just
That was
like
awesome.
we did a raffle at Three Lives, and the birthday boy, I think his name was Ian, he won 2 of the 3 prizes. So that was sick. So like,
That was awesome. That was so
That
funny.
was crazy.
wow.
All right,
So
I'm posting on Instagram right now. Congrats, Burn Dog.
yeah,
Nice.
happy for you, Burn. Thanks for watching again, Burn. I knew we could count on you. All right. Anything else for the good of the order, gents?
Just gonna give a quick shout out to my dad repping the Batman. Always, I knew he'd have a Batman emoji ready.
Oh, so look, and so this is compliments of
Yep.
Corey's dad, Mr. Mark Lawson, and he's got some of our adventures on the back here. And just so you know, the very first thing that I put in this book was our prequel adventure that we played to get ready for this. And then there it is, the original version of Killer Comets from Wildspace
Yes.
in my book before I put it on Roll20. So putting it to good use. Man, we got a lot of good people in our spirit. Now let's put on a show for them best we can. How's that sound?
Well, I guess Mr. Dimples will have to put on a show.
Yeah, man. All right. So, whew. Yeah, Mark, you're the
Dude.
best. You know
Great
it.
gifts.
I mean, your greatest gift with this handsome hippo fella you gave us, but
More
more of that later. All right. Now let us return to Killer Comments from
Wildspace.
All right. So, as you guys kind of come to, and Mr. Dimples picks up this very strange looking gun that won't work at all. It's got a little switch on it with sort of 3 different settings,
He
but
looks down the barrel and he pulls the trigger and nothing comes out.
nothing at all. Nothing at all. But you see the auto gnome kind of like take out some rope like from its side, and it kind of ties this space clown up, and you could see that it's trying to like hit the space clown, but like it just can't function properly, and it's going big boy, not Roy G. Biv, big boy, beep beep boop beep beep, neener.
Can I go over and get another test with my Tinker tools?
You certainly can try.
What do we do? Was it Arcana, right?
It's Arcana, and it certainly is at disadvantage at this point. All right, so sort of with your tinkering, he stops smoking, and he's walking a little more fluidly, but he keeps powering down, and he keeps just repeating, not Roy G. Biv, big boy, beep beep on the nose, neener.
Roy G. Biv is the colors of the rainbow. What? Do you see anything in here that looks like the rainbow, Glorp?
The only thing you guys see are stairs leading down into this clown's mouth. It's actually kind of disconcerting. Everything around you is kind of this white blank space, and it's very disorienting. The only thing you can see that kind of has like mass and substance to it is this this clown nose or clown mouth that opens up.
A little bit of glorp on your elbow there.
I did. I dabbed. I was just dabbing. That's all. So what do you guys do?
There's some Roy G. Biv going on in that clown mouth.
Yeah, I think we should go. What happens if we bonk this thing on the nose? What do you think happens?
Am I able to like reach the nose on the thing, or is it too?
No,
tight?
it's too high up. It's
Probably
too high up. That's
massive, right?
yeah. But as you walk, really the only place you can go is you walk into the clown's mouth. To this, it's a tunnel, and it's immediately like this dark tunnel with like this swirling. You can almost see like there's something, almost like a spinning tube. And it looks like all these different stars and constellations. It actually makes you sort of feel like you're floating. You're not, but you're sort of off balance. and everything sort of smells like sweet candy and like being at like the circus, or but you also smell like unpleasant animal smells like when you're in the zoo, and these stars are just swirling and tumbling about you, making it unsteady to walk. But as you kind of edge forward a little bit more, what you see is this colorful pattern on the floor. What would you like to do?
Roy G. Biv. Well, I told you it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then what's the other one? Violet?
Indigo violet.
Indigo violet. Exactly what I was gonna say, Glorb. Let's. Mr. Dimples walks on the red platform.
Okay. The second Mr. Dimples steps on the red platform, I need him to make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw.
Damn, bro.
Bro, I seen this in Squid Game, dog.
So the floor completely falls out underneath you. You fall 10 feet, roll a d6. You take 6 points of damage as you divided by 2. You take 3 points of damage because instead of hitting a hard surface, the surface sort of gives a little bit, and you realize it's a giant ball pit, like at Chuck E. Cheese back in the day. And you start sinking immediately. Roll a d4. So you take 3 damage, and you sink 3 feet. So like almost half your body sinks into this ball pit. Actually 4 feet, 1d4 plus 1. So 4 feet, there's 3 feet of you kind of above the ball pit.
Oh no.
And you can kind of feel it sort of crushing you. Glorp, what would you like to do?
I want to smack this dude with my pseudopod. Is he awake at all?
He's kind of powered down. When you hit him, he's like, not Roy G. Biv. And he kind of powers back down. Coming
Roy G. Biv.
Coming out of Mr. Dimple's pocket is Chitter, and he's going, and he's climbing up, so he's like on the top of your head. He's like at the highest point, and he's looking around, and he's kind of panicking. Mr. Dimples, what do you do?
Can I try to roll like I want to try to swim and get myself out of this ball pit here.
Looking around, it looks like a pretty infinite ball pit. It seems like maybe the only way out is back up, but that's 10 feet. Well, now that you've sank, it's like 15 feet above you.
Yeah,
And
I want to try to climb up there.
You're about to sink again. How are you going to climb up?
I reached down a 10-foot long pseudopod.
Okay. So with his arm, he's able to grab on. So it's a DC 5 plus how many feet down he sank, which was.
Can you cast guidance on yourself?
Yeah.
Sure can. So
as my hand reaches the pseudopod, he the staticky glow kind of hits the pseudopod, but it reverberates back into Mr. Dimples.
Okay.
As he tries to pull him up from.
I love it. So try to pull him up, my dude. DC 10.
I am tiny and you are huge, so I'll try my best.
And you get a +4, right?
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to award you inspiration, but you're also at disadvantage. You're right. That is a huge size difference.
Disadvantage athletics?
Yep.
And then do you have my D4 added to that check?
Right. So 7.
So
if you roll 3, you got it.
Oh.
So he sinks down. Roll a D4.
Me?
Yep. So you go down 3 more feet. So just your ears are just sticking above the ball pit. Glorp, what are you gonna do? You're just
Um,
and you're in and all you smell, it smells like feet and like cheese and coins, and it's like dark, but you can kind of see light through it, and like the starlight's kind of coming through the cracks above you. It's grim though. You feel like you could just fall forever in this ball pit. Glorp.
Dang, dog. Well, I think I try to like reach my pseudopods to the sides of this place and try to like get a grip and like pull myself up to the top.
All right. Roll again. Athletics.
I'm not.
Oh,
All right. So you cannot get him up.
jeez.
So the next time you sink, Mr. Dimples, you feel yourself falling, and then you feel yourself hit. And when you hit, you realize you're it looks like you're floating in space, and then suddenly you're, and you see Mr. Dimples, Glorp, come flying up the side wall like he's in like the dryer, and he's just, he goes over you, and then he goes under you, and then he comes back over you, and then he goes under you, and you feel like you're on the graviton at the fair. It's like you're pinned to this wall. Now what are you gonna do? You're getting dizzy. And you can hear Chitter like, and he's like pinned to the wall above you, and he's like looking down at you.
Can I try to grab? I'm trying to pull myself out of here. Is there a way that I can like swim to the top here?
You're trapped in this tumbling wheel. How are you going to try to get off of it? You're just going like this, over it and back, over it and under it, over it and under it. You're getting dizzy. And in fact, like next turn, you might take some damage. So what are you going to do?
There's not really much I can do.
You can try to get off it. How are you going to try to get off of it? Quickly.
I'm gonna try to swim. He tries to get his balance, and he tries to find the point, the
All
break
right.
in the wall.
Athletics check as you try to push off the wall that's holding you down with this gravity force. So unfortunately, that is not enough. You take 2 points of damage, and you are dizzy. You take all future checks at disadvantage. Glorp, what are you going to do? Your friend's just swirling around you.
Pretty sure he said not Roy G. Biv, and I just go to the blue one over here, and I'm like that.
So as you do that, he starts to come up the sidewall to your left next to you. What do you do?
I try to grab him with my. I wrap a couple pseudopods around him and try to hold him. Actually, you know what?
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Thorn Whip and try to pull him into me. I use my pseudopod and try to like latch out and pull him in. It might do a little damage, but I'm gonna try to pull him in.
I give you advantage. Make the roll.
Advantage.
DC 15.
22.
All right. So you hit. You take 2 points of damage, Mr. Dimples, but it wraps around you. Glorp, describe to me how you pull him off the wall. Meanwhile, Chitter grabs onto one of his ears and comes with him. What does it look like?
It's I mean, it looks like it shouldn't be possible, but like once he's just like sucking in this slime back into his body, and when he does that, he can generate a lot of force. So he kind of just like reels him in.
And you set him down kind of behind you. And standing next to you as you're kind of in a heap, Mr. Dimples, and you're sitting down and you're all dizzy. And as you kind of like shake the cobwebs out, staring right at you, the most coherent he has been, the auto gnome says, "Not Roy G. Biv, big boy, big boy." And what would you like to do?
Oh wow, you said not Roy G. Biv. Wow. Well, I guess you're right, Glorb. Lead the way. Lead me the colors that aren't the rainbow.
So, Glorp, where are you going?
So I slurp and snail trail my way into this one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slurp on over to this one.
Okay.
I hate how you say that.
And then where do you slurp?
And then I'm just gonna glom on over here.
All right. And then,
dude, I can't. This is hard to keep going. I'm losing track of where I'm at.
Maybe chat can help you.
Yeah. Red.
Said not Roy G. Biv. So
I'm gonna
probably
go
not
this way.
any of the colors.
Okay, when Glorp steps on the red, he needs to make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw. And you hear the autonym say, big boy, and you fall. Make that DC 13 dexterity saving throw.
Big boy.
God.
All right. What does that look like as you catch the edge and pull yourself back up?
That's me falling, and then my little slime body is about to become one of many balls in this large sea of ball pits, and then my pseudopods latch onto the ceiling.
Excellent. And you pull yourself back up. So this one is open. You can see the ball pit. Red has not been your color, boys. This one's gone, so you can't see. So where to, Glorb?
My God, dude, I'm having Squid Game flashbacks.
And you
And
hear
then
the
hop on the
audio
wristband.
go, big boy. All right, where to?
I look back and I'm like, is the big boy supposed to be doing this?
Well, if we're not gonna, I would say we go purple.
Neener. Not Roy G. Biv, big boy. Not Roy G. Biv, big.
So
big
my
boy.
vote is step right to the purple platform, little buddy.
Wait, to the right of the purple or on the purple?
Oh, we got in chat. Someone says orange all day.
Well, DJ, wait, who was it? King DJ Oz hasn't steered me wrong yet. So I'm gonna latch my pseudopods on over here and just go ahead and really swarm all my slime.
As you swarm onto the orange, you're just standing there chilling like a villain.
DJ Oz.
King DJ Oz, you a real one, baby.
Where to?
Glorp looks into a camera, breaking the fourth wall, and gives a big thumb up to the camera.
Where to? Not Roy G. Biv. Big boy.
Big boy.
Chat, now what color? We got green and yellow. Green or yellow? What?
Green
Not
or yellow?
boy.
Big boy. Big boy.
Big boy.
Blue.
All right, we got green.
Chat. Wait, you see green? I see yellow in chat.
See yellow, green,
All right,
yellow. Right now
yellow.
we're split.
I see two yellow, one green. I'm going yellow.
I think some people in chat are evil, is what I think.
Yeah, they split that right down the middle.
Where are you going?
I'm going yellow.
Let's go yellow.
As you slide onto the yellow, big boy. Nothing happens. You see a staircase leading
Meg.
down.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
So
I don't know if you guys solved the puzzle I didn't solve right there, or if you guys were guessing, but I appreciate you guys.
So you get to the bottom of the stairs. You slurm your way down.
Oh God.
And there are two double doors before you. I shouldn't say two. It's a double door in front of you.
Glorp he's snail trailing forward, and when he hits the door, he doesn't stop. He just starts to turn into like a puddle and starts to go underneath the door.
All right.
If
What
it's
about
1
you?
inch gap.
What about you, Mr. Dimples?
He's gonna walk over and he's gonna just put his size 16s up right on that door and kick it in.
All right. So you kick it in and the door flies over your friend's head. And as you enter this room,
Oh God.
what you realize is you've stepped into a mirror maze. And everywhere you look, it sort of looks like it looks like you're looking down a tunnel. Any way you look, it looks kind of something like
Yeah.
no matter where you look, it kind of looks like this, like a never-ending tunnel in every direction. And you can see yourself as well. And you feel kind of funny as you look into these mirrors. Well, what do you do?
All right, Mr. Dimples puts his hands up to the glass, and as he puts his hand up to the glass, he casts Identify.
Oh,
You can choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. It's a magic item or some other magic imbued object. You learn its properties and how to use them.
Okay, so you see Glorp. You see Mr. Dimples kind of reaching out, and he's moving forward, and he kind of stumbles because he keeps expecting to touch something, and he just doesn't. As he's moving forward, what are you doing? You can tell he's got something going on. What are you gonna do? It appears to you like he's going this way.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I think I want to do the same thing, kind of going this way.
Okay, I need you both to make DC 14 Wisdom, either Perception or Survival. DC 14 Perception or Survival.
Dang, man.
Damn,
I'm not having a good roll tonight.
No.
All right, so I need both of you to roll D6s.
Kapow.
So Glorp and Dimples. So Dimples, you stumble around and you finally touch like glass. And it's really weird because it doesn't leave any fingerprints or any sort of marking. You kind of breathe on it. It doesn't fog up at all. Maybe you're dead. I don't know. And what you know is this is a magic mirror, and you believe that it was created by a series of spells that imbued these mirrors with some sort of magic illusionary powers. And the second you get that and you kind of back up from what was the mirror, you kind of lose track of where it was now. And what you see all of a sudden is you see this creepy little clown. Just this little kind of like green-faced with white clown, almost like a goblin clown. And out in front of it on a leash is a balloon animal dog. And it's almost like the balloon animal dog is like sniffing the ground, and it's very awkwardly out in front, like it's pulling this clown. And it looks like it's all around you, like, or either that or maybe there's like 20 of them coming at you in all directions. And it gets in your head, and you take 1 psychic damage.
Dang.
Meanwhile, Glorp, you see yourself in every direction you look. You can hear this squeaking, everywhere, but you just, anywhere you look, it's like you're looking at yourself, like you're trapped in like the center of mirrors, and it really messes with your head, and you take 1 psychic damage, and you think that the autognome is next to you. You're not sure.
Are you sure I don't maybe gain 1 temporary hit point because how much I love seeing myself in all these mirrors?
No, despite how handsome you are, no, it doesn't happen. So what would you guys like to do as you're kind of trying to get your wits about you?
I get annoyed by this, and I release a pseudopod and try to smash a mirror.
Okay. Make a disadvantage to hit.
Well, that was a 7. So 7.
Okay, yeah. So you just smash into the air. What would you like to do, Mr. Dimples?
Can I make my way? Like, do I know it now that I can establish that it's like a series of magic tricks? Can I establish like where another exit is, or maybe where there's one central mirror
Yeah,
that's
you
getting
can.
duplicated?
You could try to make a DC 14 Wisdom, Perception, or Survival check.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking around. I'm trying to find. Man, nothing.
Roll a
Bad
D6.
rolls.
Roll a D6.
Bad rolls tonight, baby.
All right, and what are you up to, Glorp?
Yeah, that's good thinking. I think. Where's the auto gnome? He still look like he's by me.
Looks like he's by you, but it's really hard to tell.
I try to wave my pseudopods in like 5 feet around me and see if I could like try to smack him a little bit. I want to smack him.
He is right next to you, and he not Roy G. Biv, big boy.
Not Roy Biv, big boy.
So what do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I keep swarming around. I'm gonna
DC 14 Survival or Perception check.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike.
Survival it.
Yeah, so you feel like you're on the right path, and then all of a sudden you've got to roll a D6.
Oh, Mike.
He always keeps a D6 on him, so that's handy.
That's sweet. All right. So, Mr. Dimples, what happens to you is you find yourself what you think is in a new sort of part of the maze. And when you look into the mirrors, every time you turn, you look, and suddenly you have a clown red nose. Just like a big bulbous clown nose everywhere you look in these mirrors. And suddenly you think the auto gnome is next to you. And he's like, and he kind of powers down. And what happens to you, Glorp, is, suddenly you can hear the squeaking shoes again. And you see that same little clown and the dog, the balloon animal dog that is sort of sniffing around and pulling this creature with it. And all of a sudden, it's almost as if they emerge like through a mirror, like they just like walk through it. And the dog and the clown are in front of you, and they attack.
What?
Yep.
What? You can't do that.
That's so rude.
That's messed up, dude.
The clown attacks at advantage. All right, so it hits you, and you take 5 points of damage. When it hits you, it shocks you. It shocks you like it's got a buzzer on its hand, and it just slaps it on your, and all your globulinous goes like, and if you had hair, it would all stand up. And instead, I think it's kind of like wavy, like jello.
All your mucus stands.
And the dog like pops at you as well, and you take 1 force damage as well.
Wow.
You can't do that, Dennis.
More rude than I am.
What would you like to do, Mr. Dimples?
Can I see all of this from where I'm at, or is the mirrors?
You cannot. You have no idea. As far as you can tell, you got a clown nose.
I'm gonna punch that clown nose. I feel like that's his reaction. He sees that clown nose. He turns around and he goes to deck him.
So it's on your face.
Oh, it's on my face.
Yes, you have a clown nose.
Oh, I thought I was seeing it in the reflection.
No, looking in the mirror, it looks like you have a clown nose.
Mr. Dimples tries to discern which way is up. He's trying to regroup with Glorp here. So he's gonna try to make his way back to
survival check or perception.
We're gonna go survival. Come on, chat. Could you please give me some freaking good vibes right now. Survival, you said?
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
God.
dude, a
Roll a
7.
D6.
Bus.
Roll a D6, baby.
Is it too late to honk my own?
Roll a D6,
No.
baby. All right. So you end up back sort of in you think it's a familiar area. And you look, and now you have sort of white makeup all over your face
Oh no.
to go with that red nose. And you hear the autonom power back on, and he says, "Not Roy G. Biv, big boy, beep beep, beep beep." And with that, we go back to Glorb. Glorb, the clown and the dog seem to still be in front of you. What would you like to do? Would you like to attack, disengage? What would you like to do? Glorb? Oh no.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
think I would like to.
Not Roy G. Biv, big boy, beep beep.
Yeah, I think I would like to disengage and hold up my pseudopods and say, "Whoa, whoa! I'm not a bad slime, Slurp."
So as you do that, you look in the mirror and you have like this red floating nose, like in the center of your what would be your face. Make a DC 14 survival or perception check.
This is the one, though.
All right.
Oh,
Yes.
So you find yourself, you feel like you're going kind of like where you want to go. But as you get there, the balloon dog jumps out of a mirror and it bites you essentially for 1 force damage.
Oh my God.
But you still feel pretty good about where you are. Mr. Dimples, you can hear your friend like kind of like, "Rah!" And you can hear like barking, and you can hear the squeaking of shoes, and you're disoriented, and you have white makeup on your face and a big clown nose, and the autonom is next to you, kind of freaking out. Its head is spinning, and it's like, "Not worried to be a big boy, not worried to beep 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 beep." What would you like to do?
I'm gonna do another survival check, and this time when he starts to put his, he sees the clown makeup on him. He immediately goes into his keyboard and he goes, and he casts guidance on himself, and he's going to make his way through the cloud.
All right.
God, man.
Roll a D6, baby.
Is it a D6 or a D4?
D6. Oh, I mean, yes, you rolled the D4 for guidance. You failed. Roll a D6.
Yeah.
So you find yourself in the center of this maze, and jumping out of the mirror is the clown, a little clown, and the balloon animal dog. Suddenly, Glorp, you're by yourself, except for there's an autonome next to you, and it says, "No, nah, Roy G. Biv, no, big boy, beep, 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 beep." What would you like to do? Chat, you got any ideas?
Does
Yeah,
Chad have
what?
any ideas for us?
So what would you like to do?
I want to touch this mirror that I found over here.
Well, you don't really know where. It just seemed like the dog came out of the mirror, but like it's very disorienting. You don't know if it's a mirror or if it's just empty space. What are you trying to do? You're looking at yourself with your big old red nose.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to. I feel like there's a mirror over here that I can maybe like use as a portal or something.
All right.
I'm
DC
trying to touch
14,
mirrors.
DC 14, survival or perception, or investigation if you'd like, because of what you're trying to do. All right, sweet. So as you kind of try to make your way to where you think you're going, where you actually end up is you end up next to your buddy in the middle of the mirror maze, and you see that he has a space clown and that damn dog there with him. What would you like to do when you get there? You see he's kind of engaged with these guys.
Well, what the heck, dogs?
And you hear the autonome say, beep, 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 beep. On the nose, beep, beep. Not Roy G. Biv, big boy, beep, beep.
Big boy, I think we gotta get out of here. I want to slap a pseudopod on my nose, my red nose.
So as you take your pseudopod and you go, your nose goes beep, beep. And when it does, all the room goes bright, all the mirrors disappear, and all you see are these pillars, and you see 2 doors, one over here, and you also see another clown and his dog over in the corner here, and they turn to look at you, and they kind of go, and you hear from your pocket, Mr. Dimples, you hear, and it is now your turn, Mr. Dimples. These clowns look ready to say roll initiative, but you get a turn first. What would you like to do? The autonome says, not Roy G. Biv, big boy, beep, beep, on the nose. What would you like to do?
We could basically start to blast these guys if we want, right? We get a surprise attack on them.
Not really a surprise round, but you can take any action you'd like here. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for the clown that's in the corner. He's going to shoot his blunderbuss.
Yeah, man.
He's spooked out of this place.
Yeah, he's definitely spooked because he missed.
God, man.
Very badly.
These rolls, bro.
What is up with my rolls tonight?
Corey, if you're gonna shoot your blunderbuss, at least do it in your room, all right?
Or anything else you'd like to do?
No, man. Other than fire off my blunderbuss in my room.
All right. So the clown attacks and he misses. The dog attacks and he misses. The other ones roll up on you. And Glorp, before you go, you hear the autonome say, beep, beep, on the nose, neener, neener, and the beep, beep, on the nose, neener, neener. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
So I honked my nose. The mirrors maze went away, but these guys
I think I'm still a clown.
You can't tell because you can't see the mirror anymore.
Oh.
You have no idea if you got a clown nose or not. You don't feel one, but you didn't really feel one before.
You're still a clown to me for not figuring that out yourself, so it doesn't even matter, bro.
Glorp, do I look more funny to you? More humor aesthetic, you think?
TikTok, Glorp.
Well, Glorp looks around at the situation and he says, well, told you I was a nice slime. Don't know why you kept attacking. Anyway, see you later. And he transforms as a bonus action into a giant space hamster and takes a fucking bite out of this guy and tries to kill him.
Nice. Like you do.
So I think that was a +4. I'll just roll 2d20. Oh, I'll roll 1d20. So that was a 12 to hit.
That actually is a hit. You take a chomp out of this thing. How much damage?
Let me see if my second one hits real quick, and I'll roll the damage. Also, that one will also hit. All right, so I believe that is 1d6. Oh shit! 10 plus. I think this was a d4. Fit for 15 points of damage right there.
Yeah, you hurt this thing pretty bad, and it hisses at you, and it raises up its buzzer like it's about to smack you, and you hear the autonome say, on the nose, neener, neener, on the nose, neener, neener. And with that, he tries to give you the buzzer business. So this one's coming at Glorp. And he misses, and this one's coming at Mr. Dimples. Oh, Mr. Dimples, you get crit, my friend, and you
Not-
take 17 lightning damage as you are electrified.
Bro,
Yep. So, Mr. Dimples, it is your turn, and the Autognome is freaking out. On the nose.
how many points of damage was that? 17.
So, Dimples, what are you going to do? You're surrounded.
Dimples immediately goes and grabs his nose.
You kind of feel up, and there's no nose to be had as you look at these long clown-nosed goblin clowns and their balloon animal puppets looking at you. What do you do?
Trying to think position wise. Let's go.
Chat, you got any advice?
I'm gonna go Thunder Wave.
Oh, shit.
So Mr. Dimples clacks away at his keyboard at his hip. This giant little 1980s Nintendo Power Glove looking thing as he types in. And out from his suit comes this Thunder Wave. Cast at level 1. So wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature within a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. I'm sorry, but that also means you're gonna have to make one glorp.
So the two balloons just pop. the clown that got gnawed on just drops. However, when he dies, he explodes with a dying burst.
Oh,
He releases this
ooh.
confetti that just explodes out. He turns basically into raining confetti. I need you guys to make DC 12 dexterity saving throws.
Really wish I had some of that inspiration going around.
All right, so that's a save. So you're only going to take you both. Oh no, Glorp, you fail. So you're going to take 6, and Dimples, you're going to take 3 on that.
Somehow Bless is on, and Bless should not be on. I don't know.
I thought that was your. I thought you said guidance.
No, I would immediately say that I did not cast guidance.
So then you
before.
both took. What did I say? 6 acid.
Oh, jeez.
So
Yucky.
with that,
5
it
hit points.
seems like the Autognome that it's the electricity kind of surges through it. It kind of locks into place more, and it runs up on the clown. And I'll let one of you two roll a d20 as it tries to punch this thing.
You can do it.
D20. Oh my
Would you like,
dude!
would you like to use your inspiration?
I don't have any inspiration, Dennis.
Spooches, would you like to use your inspiration for him?
Yeah.
Roll again, baby.
Oh!
He misses seemingly, and the clown starts just laughing at him. And then he just backhands him on the nose. The second he hits him on the nose, he explodes into confetti. I again need you guys to make DC 12 dexterity saving throws.
I can do that.
You each take 3 damage as the confetti pours over you.
Ignore Bless. I thought I turned that off. I don't know why that's showing.
So
There we go. I'm good now.
So with that, you are out of combat.
I have
yes?
2 hit points. I'm not looking so good right now.
Well, you do have those potions of healing from your last adventure, so you could use those, or if you have any other means of healing, it's up to you.
Yeah, I'll use my potion of healing. What is that? I always forget what that is.
I believe it's 2d4 plus 2.
Correct. But also, Glorp puts his hand on your shoulder, and you feel like parts of his slime kind of like being transferred into you. And it's like Glorp has kind of absorbed and processed a bunch of healing herbs in his life, and he's going to go ahead and cast some Cure Wounds on you.
Whoa.
So 7. I'm going to do it twice. 7 and 8.
Excellent. So, where would you like to go? There are 2 doors. There is one in this corner over here, and there's one in this corner over here. And of course, if there's anything else you'd like to do, just let me know. And you hear the Chewinga sort of pokes out of your pocket, and he gives like the thumbs up, and he's like,
These guys would be a lot more useful if they spoke sort of proper English.
You don't speak
That would be-
common or Underdark at all.
that's ethnocentric, borderline racist. All right, so what are you guys gonna do?
I'd say we go through the door on the right.
Yeah, I'm just going to slurp underneath it again
Ugh.
while you're
Alright.
opening it.
Are you trying to be
Oh.
sneaky, Glorp, or is that just the way you roll?
What's up?
Are you trying to be like sneaky, or is that just the way you roll?
I mean, that's just natural to me.
I mean, I'm just trying to be less sneaky, more slurpy. Is there a roll to slurp?
Yeah, that makes
I'll
sense.
roll this.
I don't even know what that means.
Me neither. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just going underneath. I don't know if you're just busting that door down. That's
I'll
kinda
let you
what
go
happened.
first.
All right, so you slurp like you do, like one does, under the door, and what you see is pretty interesting. So as you enter this room, you see a weapons rack filled with all types of like strange weapons and guns. And on the east wall, next to another door, there's a workbench that's covered in like tools and different bobs and bits and parts and blueprints. And the workbench is flanked by a large barrel that looks kind of haggard. And on the far wall to the right of the door, you see a small gnome tied to like a spinning wheel. And he's kind of very slowly spinning. And you can see that there are darts and daggers like outlining his body. They haven't hit him. They're like all around him, like between his legs and his armpits. And they're like dangerously close to him, stuck in the wood all around the outline of his body. And you see 2 clowns. They are in mid-throw as you enter. And because of the way you entered, they have yet to recognize you. But Mr. Dimples, you are unaware of that. What do you do? And by the way, you can hear the auto gnome going, Neener, Neener.
I remain on the other side of the door. I'm letting him do his thing this time.
Alrighty. So, Glorp, they're throwing daggers, thunk, thunk, and darts thunk, into this wood as this gnome sort of spins, and the gnome looks all beat up and haggard.
Wait, it's the gnome. The gnome is on the wood thing, right?
So the gnome is back here. He is spinning. The weapons rack is over here. The workbench
Oh,
is
okay.
here.
Oh, I
There's
see.
a door here, and their backs are to you. They're throwing daggers and darts at him. They're not hitting him as of yet.
Yeah. Well, in that case, I think. Actually, you know what? I think I see that it's the gnome, and I'm going to try to slurp back under and let Dimples know that we're going to make a dramatic entrance.
Make a stealth check.
A quick slurp and slurp back. An 11.
All right, hold on. Hold, please. All right. So, as you start to slurp, they turn around, and you can hear like, and they run over and they open the door, and they say, "Roll initiative."
Oh shit!
Hold on. Let me clear the initiative here. All right, here we go. Sorry, kids. Space clowns take their time rolling initiative.
Bernie says, "I enjoy this is how to go through doors."
If I could, that's how I go through doors.
All right, my friends. That's a Bernie thing. Bernie, you're going to go through all sorts of doors with your new dice. All right, my friends. So, Glorp, you get to go first.
Frick yeah. So I'm thinking about this now. I would still be wild shaped. I maybe couldn't have. Would I still be able to slurp like that?
Let's just say you did, because we got to keep the game moving. You slurped as a big
Yeah.
old, huge. So go ahead. Now
Yeah.
what?
So maybe I just slurp my head under or something and pop back. So I'm just gonna, now that I'm regrouping my buddy, I'm gonna lunge in as a giant space hamster, which is sort of our reflavored brown bear druid wild shape, and I'm gonna just lunge after this fool with my bite attack.
Squeeze through the door, but because of the way you're made up, I'm gonna let you get in there because you're big now. So go ahead. How do you attack him?
It is a leaping, lunging bite attack with my giant space hamster fangs.
Okay.
It's a +6 to this D20. I looked it up this time. So a 17.
That is a hit.
A D8 +4. So that is a 10.
All right.
And now this next one also, so a 10 to hit.
That's a miss. So describe that first attack for us.
The first attack, I just kind of lunge at him with my hamster hands on his shoulders and try to take a big bite out of his clown neck. I've had it with these motherfucking clowns on this motherfucking ship.
So you do bite him, but you hear the it's kind of muffled because your big gooey butt is blocking the doorway. You hear the autognome say, on the nose, neener, and he gets really, really amped up.
One of the few times you could tell someone they have a big gooey butt, so I'm glad you took that up.
So, Impulse, your friend's big gooey butt is blocking the door. What would you like to do?
Is there a way that I can squeeze or shoot around him?
There's no way.
No, I'd have to squeeze into the doorway, huh?
Yeah.
You
guys are both big. You want to ready in action? You want to do anything? Do you have anything you can, something smaller you can get through there? Anything you can do?
Yeah. So, is there like at least a little
bit of daylight at the
doorway
top
here?
A little bit of daylight at the top.
I want to throw a grenade, but I'm gonna flavor it as fairy fire.
Okay.
So fairy fire. It's also my last spell slot of the day. Probably a bad idea this early, but each object in a 20-foot cube within range, outlined in this bluish, we'll call it like a staticky light, kind of outlines. Any creature that's in the area the spell is cast fails a dexterity saving throw. Oh, DC save was 13. They both pass. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it.
I'm sorry for this.
So that, I guess, no, doesn't end my turn. In through the doorway squeezes H1P0.
Nice. And what is
H1P0? And he's gonna cast flamethrower.
Oh shite.
Make a ranged spell attack originating from the cannon. One creature or object with 120 feet of it on hit. The target takes 2d8 force damage.
All right.
So is that just a D20?
Yeah. That's
18.
a hit. That's a hit. Roll that damage, baby.
2d8. Ooh.
So the one that your buddy chewed up just gets annihilated, but it does explode. DC 13 dexterity saving throw on that dying burst.
And that completes my. Is it going to be him too?
So he's on fire. So just Glorp's got to make the DC 12 dexterity saving throw.
Oh shit.
Come on, Glorp. That's the way. You fail, you take 6 points of acid damage. All right, Glorp. It is Oh, actually, it's the Space Clown's turn. He moves forward. Actually, no, he backs up. Oh, no, he can't. He's going to take a disadvantage shot with his ray gun. And he misses you. Thus ends his turn. All right, Glorp, you are up, and you can hear the autonome. Big boy, on the nose, neener.
This time I'm gonna try to take a bite. I'm gonna try to bite his clown nose off.
All right, that is a called shot. So -5 on your attack.
Plus 6.
That is
So 15.
That is a hit. And when you bite his nose, he explodes in your face. Make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw.
Nice.
12.
Aim for
Right,
the.
so you take 3 acid damage as he explodes.
Nice.
I've been having these every time, by the way, because I'm a slime.
Yeah, that's fabulous. So the auto gnome bursts into the room and takes the gnome down, and he's just the whole time neener. And the gnome, oh Pocket, I knew you would come, and he just throws his little gnome arms around the auto gnome, and he looks up and he looks a bit horrified for a minute as he sees you, Glorb, and then he says, the gnome says, oh, you must have got our distress caller. Please tell me you are here to help.
Yeah, we're here to help you and your brother.
Oh, my brother. Oh, Pocket. And Pocket's like, and he's like, oh, Pocket, what is, here, let me get my spricket wrench. And he goes over to the bench and he gets this wrench and he starts working on the auto gnome.
It's a fucking sprocket wrench.
It's a jet. And he's like, I did not expect you to be you. This is so how did you find us? How did you find us?
Well, sort of this little guy helped lead one thing to another till we found you. He kept saying something about Roy G. Big boy on the nose.
Oh, Pocket, I knew that you could. I knew you would do it. I just knew it. And he says, you see, my brother Ninar and I have been inventing our whole lives together, and well, I always favored tinkering and creating magic items, like you do, and but my true passion was extra dimensional space. And he kind of gestures all around you. He says, you find it, and this really grabs your attention, Mr. Dimples. He's speaking your language. He's like, when you look at the properties of Dimension Door and Rope Trick and Bags of Holding and how they operate, and if you were just to get the combination just right with a little bit, you could create a pocket dimension. And I've been fascinated with it since my first Bag of Holding as a child. Whereas my brother Ninar, well, he was always more interested in the biological magics, like pertaining to plants and animals. And his favorite animal was his pet space hamster. And, well, our first major creation that we worked on together was Pocket. And he pops open the auto.
I'm wagging my hamster tail, by the way.
And what you see inside of Pocket's chest cavity is a hamster running on a wheel.
What?
And he says, yes, Pocket is the first ever space hamster powered creation of all time. And inside of his chest is an extra dimensional pocket space, a utopia, if you will, for space hamsters to live happily indefinitely. And all they need to do is take turns powering his wheel. And
wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Sounds like slavery with extra steps.
I have no idea what you're talking about. They work for each other. And he And he says,
No. Wait a minute. If you want things to work for you, you need to pay them a barely working wage, and you
Pay
take
them.
all the profits. It
Is
can't
this
work like
Orb
this.
or is this Mike talking?
I have created for them a utopia. They live there of their own free will. They are intelligent beings that can leave at any time. They choose this life. They choose to power Pocket. Somehow,
Orb,
Hurricane.
Orb, take it from an expert. This is exactly why they call it a kill switch, because the Hampshire, no more auto gnome. That's why they call it a kill switch.
Whoa.
One
Don't go kill
professional to
hamsters.
another. Listen, do you know of any merch chains that are looking for you? Because you seem to be a very intelligent gnome.
Yes. Somehow the Mercane became aware of our work and with space temperatures and pocket dimension technologies, and they began funding our research. We began taking the pocket hamster model to Spelljammers and beyond. We even began to work on portal travel. Well, that's when the clowns arrived. They fed on many of our gnome brothers on our home planet, and they kidnapped us. They demanded that we build items for them under threat of completely destroying all life on our planet. In fact, this fun house of horrors is a pocket dimension itself. It was our first major project for them. In his work, Ninar learned of the bozo plant and an elixir that the clowns made from it called Thrilljoy juice. It's how they came to be clowns in the first place. My brother became infatuated with the many magical properties of the bozo plant and the Thrilljoy juice and how it could change one's very biology. He saw it as the secret to the next step of evolution. He began changing the formula. His focus was on using what he knew of the illithid hive mind to help the hamsters better work together to power our technologies with a hive mind-like brain, perhaps to help us escape. But it went horribly wrong. Two of his favorite hamsters changed in horrific ways, and they gained powerful psionic abilities. And but instead of helping us escape, no, they were driven mad. These loving creatures were transformed into monsters that took over the ship and enslaved the space clowns, forcing them to take the new Thrilljoy juice. All of the space clowns now serve Lanky and Fluffball, Lanky and Crane. He doesn't like to be called Fluffball anymore. We've been planning our escape, and, well, as you learned, the space clown technology is designed to only work for them, of course. But we got around that, didn't we, old Pocket? Didn't we, Pocket Boy? And, well, I have a workaround for their technology. As I designed it to work only for them as they requested, well, I have something of my own. There we are. He closes up Pocket's chest, and Pocket, oh, Master, you have done so well. I did my best. I led them just like you wanted me to, but it was very hard. I was badly damaged. Oh, Pocket. And he goes into his bedroom. You see two gnome-sized beds. You see a couple of desks with like diaries, and you see all of these sort of books on a bookshelf and things about, extra-dimensional space and, artificer type stuff. But he comes out with a box full of gloves, and he hands them to you, and he says, these may be my greatest invention yet. Clown gloves. And he says, here, put these on. So.
I look silly in these things.
And you kind of do. They're like Mickey Mouse gloves. Exactly. They look like that.
Boy.
But when you put them on, they morph to the size of your pseudopod or hand. And what they allow you to do is now you can use clown technology. So you could use any of these guns, including the one you found at the beginning of this adventure. And
can I identify that gun then?
Yeah. As soon as you put the gloves on and you take it out, it's like you can read it all of a sudden. And it has 3 settings on it, and it looks.
These are just silly sentences.
It looks. It looks like. It looks. Cool. It looks like this. And the 3 settings are enter the funhouse, go to anchor locations, and create anchor location.
Send location.
And so it's got 3. You have 3 settings. It is currently set to the middle setting, go to anchor location. And as you hold it, suddenly you see in your mind's eye, you see clown space. You see a moon in clown space. These sort of this 3-ringed set of planets with 3 rings around them, and there's a moon, and you can like almost see like this like the arcane circle that you saw on this moon, and you feel like with a flip of a switch you could go there. You see also like a space galleon, a ship, but it's been decorated by clowns, and you see clowns on the ship, and there is a portal there. You can also see in your mind's eye that there's like something that looks like a horseless wagon, a colorful horseless wagon with 4 wheels. It's very small though, but despite how small it is, you can see inside of it, and there's many, many clowns in this small horseless wagon. But what you see is it's approaching the cat's cradle. And then you see a portal to the Firebringer ship, the very portal that brought you here. While you're thinking about this, what you don't realize is Neener is building something. And by the time you look up from your thoughts, he basically steps into a mech suit. He's basically Gnome Iron Man.
Okay. I need to get your recipe because that is awesome.
Recipe.
It's a spicy meatball. So, Mr. Dimples, what do you do with that information that's kind of flashing through your head as you hold this gun?
What do you do? You have clown technology at your fingertips, dude.
I have never had such silly, limitless fun potential at my hands.
Oh, wait a minute.
And on your head.
Make a Arcana check. I forgot about this. Oh, there's like a secret like setting, and you kind of like describe to me how, as you're like reaching out with your magical energy and you're holding this portal gun, how you sort of unlock this secret code. Like, how do you do it? Like, it's in your head. How do you do it?
All of a sudden you hear, "You've got mail. New driver available to download. Click here now to download." And he just opens up his computer and he goes,
Wow. You know what? You take all the inspiration, Corey. Just take it all. Just take it all. All the inspiration.
While he's messing around with that real life clown technology right there, can I, as a big giant space hamster, just search through this weapon rack a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Search the weapon rack.
So as you're going sort of through this weapon rack, there's a long gun that when you hold it, you see it says popcorn gun on it. You see a smaller gun that says cotton candy gun. You see some of those buzzers that they were zapping you with. You see some flowers that look like you would squeeze the bulb and it would like spray water. And then, that's what you see.
I want to put one of those electric things in my pseudopod.
Absolutely. Hold on. Let me give you access to that. Here it is. And it's a melee weapon. It's a +2 weapon. So I had +2 to whatever, and you're proficient with it because you have clown gloves on. So I had your proficiency bonus. It's a touch, and on a hit, it does 17 lightning damage. All right.
Bernie.
So what would you like to do? So what you realize is there is one more location, and that location, you see a throne with two really weird looking, like white, mutilated, gruesome looking hamsters. And you see a huge giant space hamster and many, many clowns. And you actually can see another gnome in a cage.
Well, that must be Nina. We better go get him.
What do you mean? Ninar, where is Ninar?
Oh, was this? Wait, did only Glorb see this?
No, only you saw this, Mr. Dimples. You're seeing this in your head as you hold the portal gun. It's like you can see, like it's like choose where you want to go. And
Wait.
if you push the button, essentially, it's going to open a portal for you.
I think if the driver finished installing, I think it's this button that brings us right to your brother. And he pushes the button, and he shoots a portal open.
Okay. So a green swirling portal appears and a giant clown mouth above it. And he goes, yes, they insisted that we zhuzh it up a little bit. And
Zhuzh?
we added a little illusionary magic to make it look like a clown mouth. Quite clever if it wasn't so impossibly evil. We're working on making the portals clear so you can see on the other side, but swirling green for now.
Zhuzh.
So you're telling me that Ninar is on the other side?
I know this sounds weird, but just trust me on this. And he jumps through the portal.
Oh, shit.
I hope this isn't copyrighted material. I hope the portal comes in.
Yeah, dude, I do an action pose as I jump through.
All right. So you all, wow. As per usual, when I play with you guys, nothing went to form, and I love it. All right. So you dodged so much great fun. And here you are up here on this portal with Neener in his mech suit, Mr. Dimples. So you enter, oh my God. You enter this room, and as you look around, you see the sort of northern corner is filled with a shelf over here. It's a menagerie of like little tanks and stuff, and you see all sorts of miniature creatures in there. You see a small red dragon that it looks like a little pet lizard, but it's clearly a red dragon. And next to it is a very small kobold in a chef's hat. And then there's another one that's got like this nerdy looking monk sitting cross-legged reading a book. And actually sitting in that same tank with him is an ogre with this headband on, and he's reading two books at once. And there's some like elves with like dark skin, and there's like all sorts of creatures. There's this really fat orange looking, maybe it's an ogre with like a red tie. It's a whole thing. There's all these like this menagerie of creatures over here that all look like shrunk down humanoids. You see what's gotta be his brother, Ninar, in this cage. You see a chest in this corner over here and another workbench. You also see a giant space hamster and a bunch of clowns. The two clowns have what appear to be what you saw earlier, sort of shrink ray guns. Before we deal with that, let me show you what the two hamsters sitting on the throne, these space hamsters, what they look like.
Binky and the brain.
The one looks like this, and he says, "Why, hello. I see you've finally come to join us,
Ugh.
as I planned all along." And you hear this one, who's shoving various cheeses into his mouth, say, "Well, Crane, I didn't think that was the plan. I thought the plan was to kill them outright, not let them get here at all, where they might do damage to us. But boy, you're quite smarter than I am. All right then." And you hear the other one say, "Lanky, you idiot." And he says, "Now, I suppose you've come here to rescue this one, to get him out of his cage. Well, where were you when we were in cages? Convenient for you, isn't it? To use animals as playthings and experiment on them and keep them as your tiny little pets." And he looks over at his little menagerie of goodies and he says, "We shall see how you like it when the shoe is on the other foot. And before you embark on whatever heroics you're thinking of, let me tell you this. That ship, oh yes, the Firebringer, it is now hurtling towards your precious Rock of Brawl, carrying a payload of my mutant space plants, my bozo plants, that it will rain hellfire upon the Rock of Brawl and turn them all into either our food, our pets, or my minions." Well, why'd you go and tell him the plan, Crane? That doesn't seem like a very smart idea. They might go and thwart it now. Lanky, you don't understand the finer points of villain monologuing. Well, I suppose you're right.
We'll say monologue no more. Everybody put your hands up to the sky, and we're not gonna cause any issues here.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. Tiny little slavery for animals is kind of messed up, so I don't really see why you want to continue it.
And so he says, yes. See, he's thinking what I'm thinking. You understand? Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Lanky? And he says, well, I think so, but I don't know how you're going to get a sprocket wrench and a spricket wrench up your nose at the same time. And you see him just Crane just shake his head. And you hear Neener say, "Snowball, please, you were our kindest, most gentlest pet. How could you ever?" And Snowball, "I told you my name is Crane. Yeah, I think it means cranium, but we just call him Crane." Thank you, you idiot. Now, seize them. So, let us do that thing where we roll initiative. Now, this is evil monologuing initiative, so have at it.
So we each get our own monologue when it comes to our turn?
Always. That's what you do. So you notice that the giant space hamster is not a normal giant space hamster. He's got like clown colorings, and he looks like rabid.
I hate that.
Yeah. Not now. I'm frozen. This is no bueno. We're doing it live. All right, here we go. Boom. All right. So let us see. Oh, Neener and Neener. And you can see that the cage for Neener and Neener, Neenar with an A, that his cage is locked. And Neener will not leave without his brother. But you also now know that there is a ship full of goodies heading towards the Rock of Brawl. All right, so with that in mind, the space clowns go first, and they shoot their shrink rays at you. All right, so Mr. Dimples, you go. Are you large or are you medium? You're large?
Yeah, pretty sure I'm large.
So you are now tiny. You are now hamster size. The other clowns run up on Glorb and they attempt to shock him. Glorb.
Can I just say how adorable that is, first of all?
Yeah, you are now a tiny little GIF. All right, so you take 17 lightning damage, Glorb. And the other one's kind of...
I'm almost not a bear anymore, or a hamster anymore.
The other one takes a shot at you. Oh, no, he used his shrink ray. All right. Kill them, you idiots. Grab the tiny GIF and put him in my cage. Yes, he will be a fine specimen. Specimen? I thought he was a GIF. Idiot. All right, so it is the giant space hamster's turn. He can't he attempts to bite Neener unsuccessfully, and Neener saying, "Whoa, boy, whoa! Remember, we're kind and loving. We're friends." Glorp, it is your turn.
I forgot. I can use a bonus action to heal up a little bit. I think I'm going to do that a little.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that at level 2. I'm going to roll 2d8 as a bonus action. So healing up for 8.
All right.
Bad rolls. And then I'm going to. So I got one guy right here. Oh, 2 guys right here.
Yep.
I try to bite. Wait, I have the buzzer on my hand.
You do. Come on now.
I'm going to smack him with my giant space hamster hand and hit him with the buzzer.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. I made it a thing. God
That's
damn it.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah.
Oh, that is a miss. Did you add your proficiency and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Just rolled terrible.
He dodges out of the way. Anything else?
No.
Now, Mr. Pimples, you are tiny, which means you can move freely through this space. They can try to get an attack of opportunity against you, but you can move about. There is the cage over here. There's a chest over here. I don't know how or if you can generate any damage. The Chewinga is bigger than you now. So he is like out of your pocket standing next to you. So what will you do?
So if I shoot something, it might not.
You got a little pop gun now, so I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
You also have the portal gun. Again, you have the room to explore, and you have the portal gun. What do? You can try to figure out how to be big again.
Yeah, I think in my tiny little form, I'm gonna make my way over to the cage.
Okay, now, are you going to use the disengage action, or are you going to try to risk it so you have your action when you get there?
I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit.
Sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit.
So if I go from here to here to here to here to get to the cage, would that be 2 opportunity attacks or just 1?
Just the 1, because you're not leaving their space here. But how are you going to unlock the cage? It's locked.
Is there a padlock on it?
It's just kind of like a regular old lock, like for a cage. Like, it looks like it needs a key.
I am going to take a shot with it, with my blunderbuss. I'm just going to see what happens with a little pop gun.
Make a no. I'm not gonna let you make a check. What I am gonna say is, you hear Chitter going.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the power of Chitter. He's gonna give me a key. I want him to make me a thieves kit.
So basically, thieves' tools appear in your hand. Pick that lock. And
what should I do for it? Just roll a d20?
Roll a sleight of hand check at advantage. All right. You pop the lock, and emerging from the cage is Ninar, excuse me. And Ninar. So here's Niner,
Whoa.
and here is Ninar. And he does
Neener.
Niner and Ninar. All right. So he pops out of the cage and he says, Crane, please, you're better than this. We can stop this. Those poor people. Mr. Dimples, anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's gonna end my turn. Well, actually, I still have H1PO.
All right.
So I want him to take a shot at
who?
this guy right here, this
All right,
goblin.
roll.
Just straight D20
That's a miss. All right.
and miss.
It's just too tiny. All right, so it is the space clown's turn, and you hear Lanky say, "Oh, Crane, what? He's out. What are we going to do about that?" And you hear Crane say, "Well, I will use my psychic powers. They will feel what it's like to be in the sort of pain we were." And he attempts to mind blast. He does it in a 60-foot cone. I need you guys, actually, I need Glorp to make a DC 15 intelligence saving throw.
Boom.
Okay, so you shake it off. Do you take half? You do not. All right.
Oh, yeah.
What is this? The other space clowns attempt to attack you. This little one runs up with his buzzer, and he's unable to shock you. The other one attempts to use his ray gun at disadvantage, and he misses. This one attempts to grab. Actually, this one attempts to grab Mr. Dimples. Mr. Dimples, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, not a strength saving throw?
You're teeny and tiny. You'd rather use dex.
Oh.
Dimples!
There we go.
Describe to me how you scurry away from this space clown trying to grab you.
The big, stupid clown gloves tries to grab me. I just slip through his big, fat fingers as I scurry away on the bookshelf.
Nice. All right. The giant space hamster takes a bite out of Neener, and Neener's like, oh, but he's still there. Glorp, what do you do?
I think I see him take a bite out of my friend, and I look at him, giant space hamster to giant space hamster, and I'm like, dude, come on, please. You gotta stop working for these clowns. Come on. And I try to gently touch him with my non-buzzer hand.
Make a disadvantage animal handling check.
A 10.
All right. So you see him temporarily calm down, and then he gets enraged again. But it looked like you were making some ground. Mr. Dimples, you're up. You just slipped through this. Oh, do you have a bonus action, Glorp, or anything you'd like to do?
No.
All right, Dimples, you're up.
All right. So the gnome is just a regular gnome size. He's not tiny, but he's like in the mix of all those people over there, huh?
Yep, but he's trying to reason with Crane, but it doesn't seem to be going well. What will you do?
Which one is Crane?
This one right here, the leader of the pack.
If I'm tiny, am I like how tiny am I? Am I in the same size as
You're like
Crane?
hamster size, bro.
Oh, so I'm the same size
Maybe,
as Crane?
maybe a little bigger. Yeah, you're a little bigger than Crane.
I'm gonna try to grapple him.
Okay, go ahead.
Now I don't know. Hippo build gives me advantage on strength.
It does because you
Base
guys are the
check,
same
but-
size, so let it fly.
All right, athletics.
Yep.
Oh, come on, man.
Would
I'll use. Can I? I don't know. I can't ever use my inspiration
I'll
because
let you
I
use
rolled
your
that advantage.
I'll let you use your inspiration. Roll again, baby. Just
All
one
right.
roll. So what does it look like as you absolutely crush this guy with a
Thank
breath?
God for inspiration. He runs up on him and he bear hugs Crane, and we fall off the table onto the floor.
Excellent. So with that, you hear Crane say, "Stop! Stop!" And every creature in the room stops. And he speaks through the giant space hamster, and he says, "Squeeze all you will, kill me if you must, but the rock of Brawl will fall." Glorp, what would you like to? Would you like to? We're not taking actions. Would you like to say anything?
Well, sick rhyme, dude. Appreciate that. You sure? Like, what's the rock ever done to you, man? Like, don't you think maybe we can just let him go?
Someone like you must understand. We will stay under their thumb and their control if we accept this with obedience. We can now be the masters. Perhaps you wish to join us, Slime. Mr. Dimples, would you like to say anything?
I hope the slime already has his spot on our ship.
has a spot on our ship.
Hey, he's mine. Stay away from him.
So,
He belongs on the cat's cradle.
so that hit my GIF friend, you with that portal gun in your pocket, you see that small horseless wagon has landed on the cat's cradle and battle is ensuing. And you cannot believe, man, extra dimensional pocket dimensions are crazy. They just keep coming out of this horseless wagon. They just keep coming out one after another onto the cat's cradle. And the cat's cradle appears to be chasing the Firebringer as it hurtles towards the Rock of Brawl.
I think now is the time that Mr. Dimples takes the ray gun, shoots a hole right in the center of the ground, and he falls into it as he has Crane in his dimensional shackles.
Oh shit. So, all right.
It's
so,
kind of two actions though. I don't know, DM. That's kind of it's two actions.
So I'm going to say you open the portal, but you do have him grappled, so you fall through the portal with him. Seeing this, the space clowns kind of like are shocked for a moment. Glorp, what do you do?
I just make a jump for it.
All right. So Neener and Neenar join you, and suddenly you all find yourselves. Oh, wait. Where do you take them? Do you go inside the small horseless wagon aboard the cat's cradle? Do you go to the Firebringer? Do you go to Clown Space? Do you go back? Where are you going?
I think we're going to the cat's cradle.
All right.
We're going back to the cat's cradle, baby.
So can you guys see this?
The little boy blue and the man on the moon.
So you folks are right here on the cat's cradle.
An epic race.
And there is a clown car sorry me, a horseless wagon on the deck, and there are clowns pouring out of it, and you see the Firebringer is ahead of you, and it's headed for the Rock of Brawl. Two Trunks is like, "Oh, I can drive and destroy these creatures," and he's got basically a rock garden around him, and he's picking up rocks and just blasting these clowns. But the numbers are overwhelming, and you hear the Autognome Pocket say, their weakness is their nose. Hit them in the nose. And you hear Captain Moonsay said, "You heard them, boys, to the noses." And they start cleaning up the deck pretty quickly. But she says, "Two Trunks, we have to catch that ship." So what now, Mr. Dimples, you are holding on to Crane. What are you doing to help stop the Firebringer from crashing into the Rock of Brawl? You are, as you can also see, you are surrounded by the Kindori, who are just like nothing is happening. They're just casually floating through space towards the Rock of Brawl, like you do. Dimples, what are you going to do?
Quick! He hits the floor and he pulls out his dimensional.
Remember.
What's that?
You're tiny, remember. I just want to put that out there.
Oh yeah, I'm still tiny. Well, I pull out the dimensional shackles and I at least shackle up our buddy here that fell through the portal with us.
Okay.
And I yell to the two noodle people. What are they? I forgot their names.
Yeah. They're flumps. There's Olga
Flumps.
and Plot.
I say, get the ballista. Command the ballista. How about the ballista?
So they spin the ballista around and they take a shot at the Firebringer. Go ahead and roll the to hit.
Just D20.
Yes, it's plus.
My God, dude, did dice today.
Yeah, so that is a failure. All right, Glorp, what are you going to do to help?
I am going to unwild shape, so I'm back into slime form.
Yep.
And I'm going to hold up my arms and wave my pseudopods and cast thaumaturgy in a way that flames flicker, trying to say like SOS to these things.
Oh shit. Make an advantage animal handling check.
There you go.
I'm trying to use lights.
Yeah.
Did that roll? Advantage. Animal handling.
Okay.
15.
So you see them start to move in closer to you, the ones that can sort of see your light show. So that's a success. Excellent. So your Two Trunks says, "We need to clear the deck. The deck." All right, Mr. Dimples, what do you do? You hear Crane say, "Your resistance is useless. The Rock of Brawl is doomed."
And I say, aim to Two-Face. Aim for the clown car. Throw the rocks at the clown car. And all of a sudden,
I don't know what a car is.
the horseless carriage. Throw the rocks. Throw the rocks
Right.
over there.
So go ahead and roll 2d20s.
5 and an 8.
Okay, so that is a failure. So he misses. All right, Glorp, what are you gonna do?
So what did these things start doing when I did that?
They're rolling up. They're like checking it out. They're like, "Hey, man."
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as they get closer, I'm like trying to do it more. Like, come on, guys, we need help.
All right, what are you trying to get them to do?
How big are they in comparison to this ship?
They're 60 feet. They're like ships themselves.
like to intercept the ship from like getting to the rock.
All right, make another animal handling or a performance check at advantage because you're using
gonna-
lights.
Animal handle this fool. Oh, only a 9.
Okay, so with that, they seem confused and they kind of nudge the ship, throwing you off balance, like kind of little, it's like a little love tap. I will let you know your next failure may spell doom for the Rock of Brawl. All right, Mr. Dimples, you are up.
All right.
Do you have a Hail Mary? What do you got in mind? You've got your arm around Crane. The battle is not going well on the ship.
All of a sudden, Mr. Dimples has been waiting for this moment since he lost his last ship. He pulls out his spell scroll, create spell jamming helm.
Now, when you do that, in your mind, you see, again, the portals. You see a portal back to the funhouse. You see one to Clown Space. You see one to the Firebringer underneath, where you originally went into the funhouse.
Oh, the Firebringer, dude.
So what do you do?
Ship. Okay, cancel that. I want to use H1PO to help take care of the clown car. So
Okay.
I want him to go try to attack the clown car.
All right, make an attack roll.
God, we need this. Jesus.
All right. So he misses. That's your bonus action. What about your action?
Man. I think I want to just take 2 shots again, but I'm tiny.
You're
Can
tiny.
I help them reload the ballista? I want to load the ballista.
Hold on. Anyone who's still with us, anyone in chat got an idea? By the way, Corey is tiny and adorable. All right. What are you going to do with your action here, bro?
I want to help the noodles.
You got your spell scroll. You got your portal gun. You got very weak weapons.
I can't turn back big again. And is it the ship that's out in front of us? What is it called again?
That's the Firebringer.
I'm gonna use my portal gun.
Okay.
And shoot out 2 Firebringer.
All right. So suddenly you are on the Firebringer in the bottom where you were before. So, Mr. Glorb, what are you going to do?
I just disappear, vanish.
So I see you just shoot into a portal.
Yep.
Damn, bro.
This is tough.
Come on, man. You
Right
guys,
there.
you guys can do this. Yeah.
Dude,
What are
I
you gonna
don't know. I feel like I want one last chance. I want these things to like knock this Firebringer away from.
What are you going to do that's a little different? You got to do something a little different than just flash at them. They're right there at the side of the ship. The clown battle's going on. You're flashing lights. You've got their attention, but they don't quite know what you want them to do. And you can hear Chitter. He's pointing at them. And he's going like this. What are you going to do?
I mean, I can't wild shape anymore.
Come on, man. Go for it. What do you got?
D&D can
I
be
try to.
D&D can be hard.
I try to reach out my pseudopods and hop onto one of them.
You jump onto the back of this thing. Try to control it. Try to ride it. Advantage, animal handling.
Yes, dude. Come on. Come on.
Fucking
Yes!
crit.
Oh, shit.
Let's go.
That's two successes.
Bro, what's up, bro?
So you You
Let's go.
fly this, you ride this thing in. What do?
I got my pseudopods like now, dude. The lights weren't working enough, so I'm taking matters into my own hands. I have 10-foot pseudopods reached out almost like a harness on this thing, and I'm using it to kind of like steer it different directions a little bit now.
Excellent. And you nudge the Firebringer and you kind of throw it off course a little bit. Mr. Dimples, now I'm going to let you guys know. I didn't know how to handle this. It's supposed to be 4 successes before 3 failures. The problem is I hadn't thought about a bonus action and how to count it. So your bonus action failed. So I counted it as a half. So
Whoa.
that success of Spooches was a 20. So that was 2 successes. So that's 4. But then I kind of feel like I don't want to just give it to you because that was kind of a failure. But it
Hey,
was
don't give it to me, dude, because I got an idea. Mr.
So
Dimples.
This is it. I'm just telling you. This check determines the game. Period. So figure it out, dude.
All
You
right.
got spell jamming scroll. You got whatever else you got going on. You get to be the hero, Dimples.
Mr. Dimples, boom, falls into the ship, and all of a sudden, the giant whale, the space whale, clunks into the ship, and Mr. Dimples is thrown off to the side, and all of a sudden, right out of his reach, he sees the spell scroll, and he just, as he reaches it, the Kandori knock it back the other way, and the spell scroll goes back into Mr. Dimples' hands. And Mr. Dimples takes the spell scroll, unravels it, breaks the wax spear, and slams it down into the ground. Out of this scroll erupts just this chair, the most beautiful slate chair you have ever seen. Just smoke dissipates, and Mr. Dimples takes his seat in the spell jamming helm.
Okay.
As he takes his seat, he tries to get his bearings, and he starts to try to control the ship, and he tries to yank it up. So I'm hoping an Arcana check or
Arcana. That is the skill.
do I have advantage too?
You have advantage. Well, you can. You have inspiration. So for
I
that
have no inspiration.
You just got it for that.
Just got it. Yep. Okay, using it. Ready?
Oh, please.
Please.
Oh, 20! 20 for the W, baby!
A 20.
All right. So describe to me how you take this ship off course from a collision course, unleashing these murder comets, unleashing this plague upon the Rock of Brawl.
You see, it's very like Mission Impossible. You see Mr. Dimples gripping his armchair as he's like, Glorb, I don't think I'm going to make it. I just wanted to say how much I love you, and you've been such an inspiration to me. And all of a sudden, he pulls up the ship, and he goes, I'm just kidding about that, but you can be my first mate. I hope you can join my ship. And as he starts to control the ship, it just starts going all over Wildspace with no control. It's like a teenager having no grasp of how a car works. And he finally starts to get his footing, and he's able to dock it at the Rock of Brawl.
Wow. So, meanwhile, what we see is all of the clowns pack back into the wagon and fly off into space with, 2 trunks hurling rocks at them, and Olga and Blah just firing off ballista at them as they get away. And we cut to when you jump through the portal, you and got in the space, the Spelljammer helm, Crane was able to slink away, and we see him jump on one of these Kindori and ride it off, laughing into the distance. Now,
Can you, Crane?
now, you guys have the portal gun. You guys have the Firebringer has been landed safely. You're able to easily defeat the miniature or the space hamster that was piloting this thing in a sort of a suicide mission. And how does this story wrap up? You know, what becomes of, you know, you have this thing, you got the gnomes. How does it all wrap up, at least at the end of the movie here?
It's almost like a montage of them fixing the ship. It's basically them going through the ship, cleaning, scrubbing. They see them. The video kind of pans over as Mr. Dimples is scratching away Firebird on the side of it, and he's like etching a new name, but we don't even see what the name is. And then the camera pans to Glorb as he's like scrubbing the floors, all like pseudo potty esque. And then the next scene is Mr. Dimples on the front dock trying to interview new crew hands. Glorb, what do we see?
I feel like Glorp is really, he's more, you know, like those gnomes, one of them was more interested in the artificing and one of them was more interested in the nature stuff. Glorp's out here freaking swimming with a Kendori in his giant octopus form, I think half the time. Just, you know, being the town, being the ship biology advisor, you know?
So
Exploring Wildspace, doing whatnot.
Captain Moonsea and her crew are reinstated in the Royal Navy of Brawl, back to their position that they so coveted. And the last thing we see is our Mercane friends. They have gathered some of the small pods, and they are taking them away for whatever purposes. And then we see on the Rock of Brawl someone walking around, and these plants are growing up. And he leans down looking at the plants, and the thing goes and sticks to his face. And that is where we'll end it.
No.
In the distance, you see them scratching in the new name of the Firebird, the SS Slurp.
Here goes to the Slurp.
And then,
Well,
and then you
I gotta
see,
tell you,
and then you see, and then you see Glorp just slurp across where it says slurping.
so I got to tell you guys, I screwed so many things up, but I had so much fun.
Well,
For example, if I could, I was supposed to start by reading something. Can I read the beginning now, Corey, so you have the audio when
Yeah.
you do this? So anyone that's still with us, I got a couple little things if anyone wants to hear, and if not, it's totally fine. Thank you. Anyone that made it this far, thank you. But anyhow, here's how it was supposed to start. So we start with, we see a scrying pool looking at a meteor city floating in wild space. Ships of all type are landing and taking off of it. It sort of looks like a lazy beehive, just like just kind of buzzing about. And we hear a voice. I grow tired of waiting, Lanky. What have you found me? Well, I found a spider with 7 legs once, and a frog that had a wart and a tumor on its head that looked like a bowler hat, and I mean for our plans, you idiot. We have plans. Yes, my dim-witted friends, the same plans we have every day. Plans to take over the universe. Well, how about we start here at the Rock of Brawl? Yes. This Rock of Brawl will do just fine as a launching point for our universal domination. You've done well, Lanky. Time to show these creatures of the universe that, despite all their angry squeals, they are still just rodents on a wheel. Prepare the murder comets, and let's try out our newest toys. Also, let us find a ship to make a special delivery so we can establish a new portal. The camera slowly moves through the scrying pool and out into actual wild space as we behold the Rock of Brawl and begin our adventure. So that's how it was supposed to open.
But that's how we ended our adventure.
Yeah.
Things are weird in Wildspace. Time's
Yeah,
all kind of fluctuating and stuff like that.
and dude, like, man, there was a whole room with all the cocoons of cotton candy about the people like alien style stuck to the wall that, you know,
Yep.
the clowns were eating them. There were people trapped in balloons that would pop out as clowns and attack you.
Welcome to Homebrew, the
There
things you
was an
spend hours
animal,
on, you never use.
there was an animal sort of sanctuary of Ninar's where his favorite giant space hamster could have been swayed to your side, and he had battle armor that went on him.
Oh,
Um,
dang.
there were hamsters in balls that would roll when you tried to go down the hallway to trip you. Um,
Oh my
and
god.
then you could have, if you'd opened the chest, it was all of Crane's favorite hamster toys. You could have used them to convince him to not be such a bad boy anymore.
Wooden
Even-
sticks,
there was
corn.
even in the animal room an antidote. You guys didn't even get sprayed with crap that would have turned you into clowns.
I almost died though, dude. I got down to 2 hit points.
I know.
I was
Like,
also down to 1
that was
hit
bad
point.
dice.
So many great moments were missed, but so many great moments were had. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
I would have loved to have done that, the three of us, over about a 3-night period and cranked it out. But I hope it was fun to watch. Anyone who made it.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming to watch. If you guys want to donate, there is still time. We are just over the $3,000 mark, not including some of the goodies that we got from the raffles. We'll have a final total here, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode or this stream, whatever you guys. I don't know. What do you guys want to call it? Stream episode, whatever. Of the Dungeons donation crew. Dennis, that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
You guys are a lot of fun.
Spelljammer is fun. Thanks for putting that together, dude.
Rock on. Listen, it was more fun to do than to put together. I tell you what.
Yeah, dude. Well done.
I think my for these streams, I think my homebrew days for streaming are done. But anyhow, but not for homebrewing. Just for homebrewing for streams. I'll run published adventures. NNH, baby.
And thank you for the sweet mini.
Yeah,
Dude.
and it's getting dicey. Thanks to 3 Lives, our other sponsor. Hoping to do more with Bullfinch. Thank you all so much. If you have any last donations to shake out for the food bank, hit us up before tomorrow is done. I love you guys, man, and I love what we do. So thank you.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, guys. It was a lot of fun playing a hippo.
Thank you, and thank you, and thank you.
Bernie might be the only one who made it all the way to the end. Love you, Bernie.